How do you feel about the debt of the state of Michigan? $6.925 billion.
We've paid off a lot of debt, and I'm proud of that. But, you know, my job is I'm the governor of Michigan. I got to show up and fight for the people of Michigan.
We got $950 million in pork spending, like $5 million Special Olympics. $5 million. Do they not have their own money? Special Olympics?
I mean, are you against Special Olympics?
No, not the biggest fan of taxes sometimes.
I get it. We are making changes to have more transparency, to make sure that people who are promoting whatever project they want to get done have to do it so many days in advance so that the whole world can scrutinize it, so that they can make their case that it's the right thing to do.
And trust me, I qualify for the Special Olympics. I'm 1.6 million Grand Rapids Ballet from the States? Why can't Grand Rapids do that?
It's a good question, Caleb. I'll have to tell you what legislator asked for that, and you can ask them that question.
That's just, I love my home state.
I know. Well, this doesn't make sense when you're looking at it from 40,000 feet. I get it.
But don't we? Before we
I understand. But at the same token, legislators come with their special projects, and they negotiate them in. And I introduced a budget. It doesn't have any pork in it.
Yeah.
So these are not things that I ever
I can appreciate
was advocating for.
$2.5 million for the Lansing lug nuts? Who goes to the lug nuts? I don't know what a lug nut is.
Lug nut. It's a part in your car. And the lug nuts are the baseball team in Lansing.
Interesting. This is the part of the show where I go through the spending, and we got some bull spending in there. Some Special Olympics bull. Now, we love the Special Olympics. We love the Special Olympics.
I just didn't know the state paid for it. Yes.
Yeah.
Here in Minnesota, massive fraud is taking place within the government and the Somali population. Here, this building alone, Quality Learning Center, is a daycare, yet they spelled learning wrong, and they said leering. This daycare alone in 2025 has received $1.9 million from the government. And the strange things about these childcare centers is there's no one here right now. It's midday on a weekday, and if you were to try to go inside, it's completely closed and the windows are all blacked out. No one's working. Midday, children should be in here, and this place is licensed for 99 children, and this is the outside. There's no windows, no nothing, and like I said, they literally spelt the word wrong on their sign. This is open and blatant fraud taking place here inside of Minnesota. The government is complicit with this, and this is just one of the hundreds of child daycare centers here inside of Minneapolis being ran by the Somali population. It's sad that it's happening here in Minnesota, and it stinks that it's happening and it's being labeled on the Somali population. However, that's just the facts of what's happening here inside of Minnesota. $1.9 million for this daycare center that can't even spell learning right.
And all right, guys, we are live as we hang about 6 hours away from the New Year's. Yo, this is S.E.T Media, guys, and I'm back with another one for you. All right, guys, we're about to go ahead and get into this Benjamin Netanyahu interview. Then we're really going to take a deep dive into this Somali fraud, because the left is on the attack. Yes, they're on the attack. Well, at Nick Shirley. Why? Because he exposed fraud that was going on in their cities, in their state, and they don't want to take accountability for it. Surprise, surprise. But first, let's get into the BB interview, and then we're going to go ahead and take this whole fraud route, go ahead and take the fraud route and do a deep dive into it, because it gets interesting. All right, guys, let's go.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Mr. Prime Minister, thanks for the time.
Thank you. Good to be with you, and it's an opportunity to wish you and the American people and our Christian friends around the world, first of all, a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
You had these extensive meetings at Mar-a-Lago Monday. What is your main takeaway from that, from your perspective?
The strength of the alliance between Israel and America. Israel emerged from the Seven Front War that was foisted on us as the most powerful country in the Middle East. But part of that is this tremendous alliance that we have with the United States under President Trump. It's just a partnership of like-minded peoples and leaders, and I am very grateful to President Trump for that support that he gives us.
Let's talk about the ceasefire and where it stands. What has been so hard about getting to phase 2, which is of this peace plan, the Hamas disarmament, getting an international stabilization force on the ground in Gaza?
Oh, and shout out to my man Jet coming in from Rumble. And guys, let's make sure you like the video on Rumble as well. He says, I'm going to start it off on Rumble today. LOL, is either support the country you live in or move your ass to the country you support. It's not rocket science, you mofo. Man, yo, shout out. Shout out to my man Jet. Appreciate the support, brother. But no, it's really not that hard. It's either you support the United States and you appreciate being here, or you don't. You can go back to the country that you do idolize. And I mean, nobody's going to be mad at you for that. But we will be mad at you for staying here and idolizing another country, and be real with you.
Well, one word, disarmament. Hamas committed to disarm. It's got still about 20,000 people with basically Kalashnikov rifles, which they use periodically to execute anyone who doesn't want the continuation of their tyranny. So they kill a lot of Palestinians who don't want
well, all right, let's be real here. The Palestinians that these guys are killing are the Palestinians that was working with Israel. That's the fact of the matter. And then also the Palestinians that they're killing is part of an Israeli-backed militant group that, well, is going against Hamas. That's working on the side of Israel, which is basically still fighting Hamas to this very day. This is why we can't get Hamas to disarm, is because Hamas is still fighting the Israeli-backed militant force or group. And then they're still dealing with the IDF bombing them as well, even though they're supposed to be under a ceasefire. So this is how Israeli news this is how Israeli news is going to frame it to you. And of course, this is how Bibi Netanyahu is going to frame it to you, as if these guys are just random Palestinians who just wanted to stop fighting. No, they were working with Israel. And that's also why they held the public executions after the ceasefire as well. I don't agree with the public executions or anything like that, but I mean, let's just be real about why they were doing it.
and they have altogether 60,000 AK rifles. That's what disarmament means. You got to take all these rifles, take them away from them, and break up those terror tunnels that they have. Still hundreds of kilometers of terror tunnels. Hamas refuses to do it.
Do you think you'll get there? Do you think you'll get to phase 2, even though there's this unwillingness by Hamas to disarm?
Look, I think we have to give it a chance. There's an attempt to...
It's unlikely, like I said, it's unlikely that Hamas will disarm, like I said, because they're fighting an Israeli-backed militant group, and they're still getting bombed by the IDF. And of course, like I said, Israel, I mean, let's be real, they haven't kept up no ceasefires. They bombed Lebanon, and they continuously bomb Gaza. So I'm really wondering how they expect Hamas to disarm under these conditions. And I'm just being fair about this.
Bring an international force. So far, it hasn't come to fruition, but we'll give it a chance, because if it can be done, again, as the president and I have said, if it can be done the easy way, fine. And if not, it'll be done another way.
Coming into this meeting, there was some media reporting that said this was a crucial meeting for the future of the Gaza deal. This is what Axios wrote. White House officials think Netanyahu is slow-walking the peace process and fear he will resume the war with Hamas. But while the Israeli prime minister is butting heads with Trump's team, he hopes to bring the president himself over to his more hawkish point of view, a senior Israeli official said. Fair going into that meeting, and what do you take coming out of it?
Can't deal with any one of these fake spins, because I didn't have to bring the president anywhere. We saw eye to eye. He cut right to the chase. He said, look, skip all this press stuff. I mean, the real thing is you've got to get Hamas to disarm. He just banged the nail on the head,
But did you hear any of that frustration about the strikes that you've completed since the ceasefire?
Not from the president.
Since the ceasefire, there's been about 400 Palestinians have been killed since the ceasefire. So yeah, this is why, and shout out to Brett Barr for actually giving them some real pushback on Fox News of all places. But yeah, shout out to him for that, because he's like, bro, I mean, let's be real though. It's been a ceasefire, but you haven't stopped firing. About 400 Palestinians are dead. So don't you think that's one of the reasons why they're not, disarming? Because, well, you're not stopping the firing or the bombing. Like, let's be real now.
I have to tell you, I think he understands. Look, we're attacked. These terrorists try to kill us. Unfortunately, sometimes kill our soldiers. What would you do? Well, you just did. There was this.
Oh, and shout out to my man Jet. He says, Happy New Year's. The season 2026 of Earth Fitting to Be Wild. Yeah, I know, right? Bro, 2026 is about to be a wild year, but don't worry, bro. I'm all over. And I'm all for it. And guys, man, happy new year. And don't worry, guys, it's not going to be doom and gloom the entire 2026. There's going to be some bad moments, some good moments, and some hilarious moments. And I'm here for all of it. And guys, let's not forget to double tap that screen, like the video, so we can get more people on the conversation.
Jihadists in Syria who killed 2 Americans, bam, you hit them back. And the president instinctively and in any other way, conceptually understands when you're fighting terrorists who want to kill you, kill them first or kill them in response.
Settler violence in the West Bank continues to rise, and that does threaten some regional stability. How are you?
Hey, look, what? Is Fox News actually giving some real reporting on Bibi? Like, hold on. I'm gonna be real with you. I didn't even think he was gonna bring up the West Bank settlements because yes, Israel is trying to settle the West Bank. They're kicking Palestinians out the West Bank and taking their land. And they're doing it on the guidelines that Hamas is there, but Hamas isn't there. They're doing it because they feel like they can. So yeah, what's going on with the West Bank? Oh yes, and they killed a Palestinian American there. We haven't heard anything about that. So I'm really surprised that they're mentioning what's going on in the West Bank. Because usually, you know, the way the left likes to frame it is we just show for Israel all day. Well, it's looking like we're kind of losing faith on that, or they're kind of losing the I'll be real with you, the protection of the right, or at least of right-wing media.
Addressing that.
Well, first of all, I think it's much bloated. You know, when they're talking about it, they're talking about a handful of kids. We actually located it. It's about 70 kids. They're not from the West Bank. They're actually teenagers who come from broken homes, and they do things like chopping the olive trees, and sometimes they try to burn a home. I can't accept that. That's vigilantism. I'm taking that out. But they claim they put a false symmetry between these teenagers and 1,000, actually over 1,000 terrorist attacks against the settlers, right. Families, mothers who are driving on the roads there with their children, boom, they're attacked, they're slain. So there's no symmetry. I'm putting a special effort to stop this vigilantism. I can't accept it.
I'm sorry, dog, but yeah, here's a problem with the West Bank settlers. They're moving on the strength of your party, the Likud party in Israel. They're doing it because you guys okayed it. I mean, their finance minister and all that good stuff, he's okaying it. He's the one that wants to pretty much level Gaza and take it over. There is a plan in the Israeli government to take over Gaza and take over the West Bank and create greater Israel. There is a plan like that, and they're trying to play in our face like we're stupid. But we kind of know what the plan is, and hopefully we're willing to leave Israel alone so they can like go off and try to fight Iran on their own. But who knows? Because the way that meeting went with Trump, it looks like we might be following them up when they attack Iran, which is seeming more inevitable by the day, sadly.
Even if it's not parallel, even if it's not symmetrical, I want peaceful coexistence between the Israelis and the Palestinians who live in Judea, Samaria, which is part of our ancestral homeland.
The president said this.
I wouldn't say we agree on the West Bank 100%. But we will come to a conclusion on the West Bank.
Where's the daylight?
Oh, I think there's a lot of daylight because I think we both want to see a future in which that territory is not used for terrorist attacks. We've done a lot.
But it's not used for terrorist attacks. You guys are the terrorists in that area. You're going there and kicking Palestinians off their land and settling Israelis there. That's it. That's all. That's what you guys are doing. That's about as simple as it gets. But shout out Tove. She says, Happy New Year. And gotta ask, what is, oh yeah, he said, what is on your hoodie? Oh, little shark face and all that good stuff. That's what's on the hoodie. A shark face. I know, it's cool, isn't it?
A lot of things in that regard.
I appreciate you, Tove.
A lot of infrastructure there, both for us and for our Palestinian neighbors. And I think there's a lot of room to talk about it. But I think ultimately, you know, Israel has to have the military control over this area because it's so tiny.
Do you see an international stabilization force in Gaza being on the ground in 26? Do you see a new government that you could live with in Gaza in 2026?
I think you have to ask, as far as the second question is concerned, a new government in Gaza is possible if you disarm Hamas, because no one's going to come in there if Hamas stays armed, and they'll put a bullet right through the back of their head, you know, anyone of any potential new government. So the answer to your question is, if we disarm Hamas, whether with an international force or by any other means, yes, I see a different future for Gaza. And it's the one remaining step. Everybody understands that. I think Hamas understands it. That's why they don't want to do it, because, you know, the point here is not to negotiate with Hamas. That's not the job, their job. Their job is to vanish, stop, no more. And you know who wants it more than anyone else? The people of Gaza.
The president talked about the threat from Iran. How much has Iran rebuilt its nuclear and ballistic missile capabilities since?
And like I said, he says this as they continue to bomb Gaza. And he says this as he's backing a Israel-backed Palestinian militia group to fight Hamas. He says all that while supporting all this. I just want to let you guys know. That's why I don't like Bibi either, because he'll say, oh, no, we just want them to disarm. I mean, bro, you're doing everything in the world to make sure that they don't disarm.
Yeah. Well, it's trying to, and the president was correct when he said that, you know, the Fordo thing was obliterated, so they're trying other sites. They'll try that. They also are trying to recover their ballistic missile production facility.
With no proof.
You know, we set them back considerably.
Now, we have no proof of Iran trying to, you know, resurge in, well, uranium, pretty much resurge in the proliferation of the uranium. We have no proof of that. What we do have proof of, and Iran has said it public themselves, is the advancement of their missiles and their missile defense system. Now, that we have proof of. So if he's talking about Iran upgrading their missiles, well, yeah, they said it publicly. But if he's talking about Iran restarting their uranium enrichment program, there's no proof of that. But we'll see what comes out later on, though. You never know.
In both areas, but yeah, they'll try. And I think the president was right to tell them, hey, don't. That's basically what his message was. And I think with Iran, the real issue is they should accept the fact that they shouldn't have nuclear enrichment capability. They should take out all the material that they've already enriched, take it out of Iran, and have inspections.
Judging by the president, Iran's president over the weekend said that his country is in, quote, full-scale war with the U.S., Israel, and Europe. What do you think the chances are, if you were to put a percentage on it, that Israel, or the U.S. is going to have to take some action again inside Iran?
Well, I'll tell you about action, because I was presented.
And here's the problem with them taking action inside of Iran. It means that we're going to have to protect these guys again. Now, Israel put on a pretty good front and saying, oh, we did it all on our own. No, the hell you didn't. We had submarines shooting down missiles so they wouldn't hit you guys. I mean, no, you guys didn't. Actually, one of the main reasons why that 12-day war ended, because Israel was getting effed up and both sides were getting effed up. But here's the problem. Israel couldn't keep on defending itself against Iran, but Iran could shoot missiles for days, though. And that's just the reality of it. And America was getting tired also of defending Israel from all these missiles, because it was wearing out our missile supply. So what we flew the B-2 bombers, struck their facility. Iran just said, all right, we don't want it no more. And there you go.
A few days ago, actually 2 weeks ago, with the prospect that they're having field exercises.
And as is, we don't want it no more, is that we don't want to continue the conflict with Israel anymore, if it means that America is going to get involved.
In which they're practicing launching ballistic missiles at Israel. So I passed a message. I think I made it public, so it's not secret. I said, if you dare do that, you know, the results would be devastating. So I hope Iran doesn't make that mistake.
But are they expanding ballistic missiles?
They are going back to production.
Mm-hmm.
As far as the nuclear program, I think they're trying to do that. I'm not sure they've decided to cross the line, because I think they heed President Trump's warnings, and also because they've just experienced something. Less than a year ago, they saw what it entails, and they have to choose. Look, we don't seek escalation. I hope they don't, but if they do, all bets are off.
I mean, shoot, just don't attack them first, and we'll believe you, BB. Just don't attack them, and we'll believe you.
What are the prospects of expanding the Abraham Accords?
Really good.
Syria, with Saudi Arabia, what's next?
I think it's possible, precisely because of the great achievements that we had fighting the Iran in its axis. Hezbollah is a shadow of itself. The Houthis are not what they were.
True.
Hamas clearly not what they were. And Iran too. You know, Iran was a first-rate power. It was.
I mean, yeah, now it's suffering from crazy inflation, water shortages. I mean, oh yeah, and they're protesting about this crazy inflation right now. So they're kind of, yeah, we might actually get the regime change we want. You never know. But the word on the global streets is that the Mossad is the one running these protests, because there's been crazy inflation going on in Iran. But let's be quite honest here. I mean, how long could the people deal with this crazy inflation? And due to the sanctions, and it's all because that, you know, the Ayatollah won't play nice with the U.S. And there is parties in Iran that want to play nice with the U.S. They just aren't in power. But they do have a seat at the table, though. I will say that. They do have a seat at the table. Like their president. The president of Iran actually does want to play nice with the U.S., believe it or not. But not the Ayatollah so much. And shout out to my man Jet. He says video in GC, Walls needs impeached, arrest, and put in prison, and put around people that went from snatching souls to snatching booty holes. then he'll need a tampon. Damn. Cooked. He'd be cooked.
Starting around the Middle East and the world as though they were a superpower. And so people are open to peace agreements. I hope we can do that with the Saudis and with others. And by the way, also with Muslim countries outside the Middle East who are very interested. You know why? Two reasons. One, as I told you, Israel is a very powerful military country and people want to partake of our knowledge. But the other thing is, we're just a high-tech juggernaut. Our economy, after 2 years of war, is going through the roof. So I think that helps peace too.
Yet you are a leader who has
I know, because we fit the bill. Yes, we fit the bill.
been embattled.
Right.
You are facing a trial.
Right.
And you say all these positive things are happening, and the war is, in your mind, heading in the right direction. But yet you're facing this trial.
I'm in trials and investigations for 10 years, in these bogus investigations. It's a political trial. President was right to call for
Now, if you want to know more about these trials, I suggest you watch the BB files. And yes, the BB files go into his corruption, his whole corruption trial, and how he's pretty much using war to kind of lay off his corruption trial. And now he's trying to get Trump to ask the Israeli parliament, or the Israeli, Congress, basically their own little Knesset. That's what they call their stuff. The Israeli Knesset, to pretty much pardon Bibi. And I mean, here's the thing. A lot of people in Israel actually want Bibi to go to jail for his corruption. But hey, it is what it is. And if you want to know more about that, please watch the BB files. And by Israeli media, by the way, Israeli media. So it's their own snitching on their own.
And you know what this trial was about? They said that I received a bribe. You know what the bribe was? Favorable coverage in a third-rate internet site. That's the bribe. 2 years ago, the judges called the prosecution that is politically motivated, and they tell them, hey, wait a minute. Prime Minister didn't receive positive coverage. He received negative coverage. So you should drop the bribery charge. So what's left? Well, on the first day of my cross-examination, now you got to hear this, okay? The cross-examine. And they say, Prime Minister, 29 years ago, your son received a Bugs Bunny doll. That's what they're cross-examining. And about cigars I received from a friend.
Wrong.
That's
box of cigars you received that was a friend, and really expensive champagne for you and your wife, and of course other lavish gifts as well. So like I said, I mean, you have to watch the BB files, honestly understand the full charges, but he is definitely trying to water it down. And as he should. He's trying to make appeal to the people, to Donald Trump, to try to get a pardon for him in Israel. And right now, the people in Israel love Donald Trump right now.
the trial. So it's ridiculous. It's been dissolving, and the president is right to ask for a pardon.
He said this.
How do you not? He's a wartime prime minister who's a hero. How do you not give a pardon? You know, I think it's a very hard thing not to do it. I spoke to the president, and it's on. I mean, he tells me it's on its way.
President Herzog's office denies that the president's statement about recent conversation with him on Netanyahu's pardon. There's not been a conversation between President Herzog and President Trump since the pardon request was submitted. That's according to the president's office yesterday. What's your take of where it stands?
I'm sorry, but if you actually know about these charges, the bribery charge, it's too blatant. It's too blatant, and he just caught. That's why nobody's looking at it like, no, bro, we're not going to pardon you. We appreciate the wartime presidency, or or being like you handling the war through your leadership or whatever. But yeah, you're definitely guilty of those bribery charges. But we appreciate your service. Like, I'm be real with you. I guess you did what you needed to do. Now, even though I disagree on how he protected his country, he protected his country. I'll give him that.
I don't know about their conversations, but I do know that the president, who's a terrific friend,
and trust me, it's not like I didn't want him to strike back Hamas. I'm okay with this man striking back Hamas. It's just that, when you kill 53,000 people, you were hoping that most of it would be Hamas, but sadly, only about like 8,900 were, and the rest of them were citizens. So that's where my disagreement comes in. Not through attacking Hamas, but through the reckless bombing of innocent women and children and other civilians.
he just cuts to the chase. He said, "What the?" He knows this is ridiculous.
Obviously, there's other people that describe the trial differently than you're depicting it, but from your point of view,
bring your camera.
Right. To the critics who say that you want this war to continue to help your political future, what do you say?
The war to continue?
Yeah, the battle.
This is so vicious and so false. I've been to war. When I was 18 years old,
True.
Joined the Army and Special Forces.
Yeah, lost his older brother.
One of my best friends died in my arms, received mortar shrapnel. He died in my arms, I lost friends. I lost a brother. I saw what happens to my parents. I saw what happens to bereaved parents in Israel. I just had a family here with the last hostage, a hero of this.
And everything he's saying is true. Yes, Bibi, he was part of the Israeli military, or the IDF. I mean, his brother did die in war. He has friends that died in war. So it's a bit weird how you are trying to push war with Iran right now. It is a bit funny how you have that past. You understand the horrors of war, but yet you're trying to pop it off with Iran, like crazy.
Israel, who died, we're trying to recover his body. He killed 14 terrorists until the last bullet, and he died.
Right,
and
Ron Geely.
Ron Geely, yeah, he's an incredible hero. And I see the depth of grief, So you have to go through that to understand the cost of war and the pain of war. That's the last thing I want. But I think we've had a tremendous victory, series of victories. But the real victory would be the ability to translate that into the fruits of peace. When I led the country into this war and now lead them into the search for peace. I'm on a mission. And the mission, you don't want power for power's sake. It's what you do with it. And what I want to do is to secure the future of Israel and to give it a future of peace, prosperity, and security. It's not only for us. It's for America. It's for our, I started out with a call and a greetings to our Christian friends. Christians in the Middle East are being persecuted everywhere. So when I talk about helping Israel, we're also talking about helping those in the Arab world and in the Muslim world who want to make peace with us, and minorities like the Druze in Syria and the Christians in Syria and elsewhere, give them a better life, the kind of life that Christians have in Israel and only in Israel and the Middle East.
Speaking of Syria, is President Trump wrong to trust the interim president of Syria, al-Shar?
Christians in Gaza,
I think he wants to give him a chance, as do we, but look at what happened. We saw the 1-year anniversary of the, of this new government, and they have a march, a parade of their army. And unfortunately, half their army are jihadists. We'd like to see if we can have a different relationship with them. We have talks, which we never had with the Assad regime. And I hope it leads to a future of peace.
Last thing, what is the biggest lesson that you've learned since that horrible day of October 7th? And characterize, if you could, what you see about anti-Semitism around the world and where it stands today.
Now, I'm just going to throw my own little bit of conspiracy in there, but I ain't gonna lie. The October 7th kind of looks like their 9/11. Like, October 7th should not have happened. Like, there's just too much. There was too much protection on the Israeli border. I mean, you couldn't go 10 feet without seeing a soldier or 19-year-old with a rifle. Even Charlie Kirk even came out and said October 7th should have never happened. So let's be real, like that needs to be investigated because it might have been their 9/11. But until that investigation happens, I mean, it is what it is.
I think the lesson actually goes back to the Holocaust.
I mean, trust me, even if it was discovered to be like our 9/11, it would still be considered a terrorist attack. Like, even then.
If somebody says they want to kill you, they want to destroy you, annihilate you, believe them, and be prepared at all times to fend them off. We've shown that very ably with the courage of our incredible, heroic soldiers, just incredible. With the case of communities around the world of Jews, as in Sydney or Mascot, or here in the United States, you had these horrible things happen here too. I think it really depends on the position of the government. Do they speak out against it? President Trump does. Many governments don't, and they should. But Jews around the world should always know that Israel will stand by them and will help governments who want to fight anti-Semitism. And the last thing I would tell you is anti-Semitism starts with the attacks on the Jews, but it never ends there. It goes on to others, blacks, Hispanics, and so on. Eventually, it just poisons the entire society. So it's not merely in the interest of the Jewish people to fight anti-Semitism. It's the interest of all free societies to stop it.
I mean, bro, we already fight the hate of all groups. Like we don't stand for any hate for any group already. The problem is though that y'all kind of twist anti-Semitism to something crazy now. As one of the rabbis said, it's now an ever evolving definition, which is wild to say right there. I mean, like, okay, so you could pretty much place the definition of anti-Semitism to whatever suits your argument. And this is exactly what's happening. Anti-Semitism is being used to fit your argument when they just want to denounce what you're saying, or they don't even want to hear it. So they just call you an anti-Semite. So yeah, we all agree that there should be a hatred of no group, Jew, black, Hispanic. We don't care. We don't like it. But when you guys sit there and try to use anti-Semitism to avoid criticism, that's where you kind of got us like bent right there. Like nobody's going for that. Well, some people are, but not me. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get over to CNN as they pretty much, revealed what I've been saying. Protest erupts in Iran over inflation crisis. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get right into it.
Iran's government is reaching out to protesters to resolve a wave of unrest over a currency collapse. Demonstrations gripping Tehran and other cities were set off by a plunge in the Iranian rial and soaring prices. In a post on X, Iran's president offered dialogue with protest leaders, calling their concerns legitimate and saying the livelihood of the Iranian people is a daily concern. CNN's Nada Bashir is following this from London for us. Nada, good to have you with us. I mean, the inflation rates, according to statistics coming out of Iran, it's sitting at 42% for the month of December. This is very high. Give me a sense of what reforms the Iranian government could implement to try and ease some of this crisis that's playing out.
Well, Eleni, we haven't seen any concrete commitments being offered by the government just yet, just that offer of dialogue with protesters. And we are continuing to see protesters taking to the streets in Tehran. We've seen that video on social media being shared of protesters around Tehran's markets and bazaars, a standoff with police in central parts of downtown Tehran. We're also seeing university students today taking part in marches.
I swear, the way they frame Iran, you would think these guys would be getting like shot up by now and dispersed like it's China or something.
Around the University of Tehran. So we are clearly seeing some momentum building in these protests taking place across the country. And as you mentioned, this is all surrounding this economic crisis that we are seeing in the country with inflation rising. And this is a real daily struggle for many in the country. We're seeing a sharp increase in the prices of food, of essential medical supplies, of gas prices.
Oh, guys, do me a favor and double tap that screen like the video, guys. Let's get more people on the conversation by double tapping that screen. Appreciate the support, guys. And if any questions, comments, jokes, or disagreements, I'll be happy to read it out loud and engage with it. Just $2 and up, or if you just want to share some information as well.
So people are really feeling this at home on a daily basis, and this has clearly sparked a lot of anger and uproar in the country now, particularly as there has been some indication of potential tax rises in the new year as well. So clearly a lot of dissatisfaction with how the government is handling this economic crisis. And of course, when it comes to the situation with regards to foreign relations, there is concern around comments being made by the US President Donald Trump around potentially taking further action if Iran seeks to rebuild its nuclear capabilities. And of course, those tensions remain high following that 12-day war that we saw just a few months ago. So clearly there is a huge feeling of unease amongst the Iranian population. At this stage, what we have seen in terms of tangible action is, according to state media, the resignation of the head of the central bank, Mohammad Reza Farzin. Rumors had been circulating around his possible resignation in response to this economic crisis. But clearly, a lot of dissatisfaction still. We are hearing calls still for shops, markets, and the bazaar to be closed. I spoke to one Iranian contact yesterday who said, in his words, when the bazaars close, governments tremble. And of course, important to remember that the shopkeepers, merchants played a key role in the Iranian revolution. So there is certainly a lot of history there with regards to the potential power behind these protests, if indeed they do continue to escalate and spread.
All this protest erupting in the western city of Hamadan. Iranians voicing their anger as Iran's currency hits an all-time low and inflation soars. And in Tehran, shopkeepers hit the currency.
Yeah, let's be real. The sanctions don't help, and of course, their water shortage don't help. And then, I mean, let's be honest. You don't think that little 12-day war with Israel was expensive? Yeah, it sure did. It cost them. I'll tell you that right now. So yeah, they're definitely going through it. And I'll be honest with you, the only way I can see out of it is if we probably lift some of them sanctions off them, but they'd have to be able to play nice with Israel and the United States. And that would probably require them to, well, I'll be real with you, disarm their missiles and disarm any nuclear capability that they were working on, or cease it.
By the currency.
I don't think they're going for that.
Currency are playing a major role in the demonstrations. Take a look at this, which are the largest since Mahsa Amini died in police custody in 2022. Now, elsewhere in the capital, footage is showing us a standoff with police, the tension and smoke hanging thick in the air. For perspective now, I want to bring in Abbas Aslani. He is a senior research fellow at the Center for Middle East Strategic Studies based in Tehran. Abbas, really good to have you with us. You're based in Tehran. I want you to give me a sense of, firstly, what you're seeing on the ground in terms of these protests, and importantly, the inflationary impact on average Iranians.
Eleni, thank you for having me. In order to understand the current pulse on the streets in Tehran, we need to appreciate the nuances of the situation. Let's identify the epicenter of this. This started and originated from the Grand Bazaar in Tehran, which is the heartbeat economy of the capital city. And so it happened as a result of the fluctuations in the currency as well as gold markets, which resulted in the increasing prices of the other commodities. And they say that when the market sneezes, the rest of the economy catches cold, or this could create, let's say, economic hardship for the other parts of the country. But it is important to remember that these protests should not, let's say, make us to make a mistake that a localized protest for a widespread, let's say, uprising in the country. In terms of the size and the scale of the protest, it seems to be remaining relatively small. Geographically, it has been tethered to the market districts in the capital city. And there are factors which are impacting the situation, which is the security factor. As a result of the June attacks against the country, it seems that the average citizens, they are worried of burning the whole house down to kill a termite. And that's why they have not been, let's say, joining these masses in great numbers And this is.
And all right, now that we heard enough about what's Israel and Iran, let's go ahead and move on to my man Nick Shirley, because he's getting a lot of heat from left-wing media. No assistance, but he's getting all the smoke in the world. I mean, you would think that they would actually do some honest investigation into the, whole Somali fraud matter or the daycare fraud ring that's going on in Somalia. But no, they're spending more time attacking the investigator. Crazy. Well, let's go ahead and get right into it. And let's start off with our guys over here at CNN. Oh, guys, let's not forget to double tap that screen, like the video. And if you have any questions, comments, jokes, or disagreements, $2 up. I'll be happy to read it out loud and engage with it. All right, guys, let's keep it going.
The Trump administration says it is now withholding all federal child care funding to the entire state. The agency says the state receives $185 million for 19,000 children, and now that money will be gone. And the agency did not specify any alternate plans for families who will be affected. DHS and the FBI.
The deputy, what's his name? I think his name is Jim O'Neill. He is the deputy security of Health and Human Services. So shout out to this guy, because he actually came out and said it right here. We have frozen all. Let me go ahead and get you right to the page. He says we have frozen all child care payments to the state of Minnesota. All of them? Yes, all of them. Go ahead and big scream it for some of you guys. So let's go ahead and hear what you got to say. Shout out to this guy, man. You know I had to shout him out. Like, come on now. He's being a real one. But let's go.
Hello, I'm HHS Deputy Secretary Jim O'Neill. I'm here with Assistant Secretary Alex Adams. Alex oversees the Administration for Children and Families. Intrepid journalists have made shocking and credible allegations of extensive fraud in Minnesota's child care programs. We believe the state of Minnesota has allowed scammers and fake daycares to siphon millions of taxpayer dollars over the past decade.
My office, ACF, provides Minnesota $185 million in child care funds each year. That money should be helping 19,000 American children, including toddlers and infants. Any dollar stolen by fraudsters is stolen from those children. Yesterday, I spoke directly with the director of the Minnesota Child Care Services Office. She could not tell me with confidence whether those allegations of fraud are isolated or whether there's fraud stretching statewide.
Today, we have taken 3 direct actions against the blatant fraud that seems to be rampant in Minnesota. First, I've activated our Defend the Spend system for all ACF child care payments across America. Starting today, we require a justification, receipt, or photo evidence before we make a payment. Second, I've just signed and sent a demand letter to Governor Walz. I required a full 360 review of these centers. This includes attendance records, licenses, complaints, investigations, and inspections.
And third, we've launched a dedicated fraud reporting hotline and email address at childcare.gov. Whether you're a parent, a provider, a member of the public, we want to hear from you. Let me be crystal clear. ACF expects every state to uphold the...
And I'm about to be doing my own work, because like I said, I'm in Columbus, Ohio. I even went ahead and DM Nick Shirley, like, bro, if you need anything, I'm here. I got you. I mean, bro, I'm even willing to run security. I mean, you may not be able to tell, but I'm actually a pretty fit guy. I'm about 6'2", so I can hold my own. So, bro, whatever you need, I got you. And I'm willing to go there myself. And guess what? We can report these guys at childcare.gov. So if you're in Columbus and you're like me, you also want to get out there, go to these places, see if you can even get in there. I don't know, wear some type of camera, have your phone on record, but don't just hold your phone up because they're going to know you on bullshit. But yes, like do you can do your own investigative work, get the evidence and report it to childcare.gov. And let's get this fraud shut down.
Highest standards of oversight, monitoring, and accountability for federal dollars. Minnesota is no exception.
We're committed to holding bad actors accountable. Regardless of rank or office, anyone who's involved in perpetrating this fraud against the American people should expect to be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
And shout out to my man Jet, because he sent the video in. Go ahead and pull this one up as well.
This is absolutely mind-blowing. So I was watching the most recent video by Nick Shirley exposing these daycare centers. Now, they're going daycare to daycare, and the next one that they go to is called Sweet Angel Childcare. This is where they show up to. And this is the business right here. Sweet Angel Childcare in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Now, listen to where this phone number goes to when you call this childcare center. Just wait for it.
Thank you for contacting the Office of Governor Tim Walz and Lieutenant Governor Becky Flanagan. Our office is located at 130 State Capitol at 75 Reverend.
It goes to Governor Tim Walz's office. Why is a child care center directly going to the office of the governor? If this is not a direct link to Tim Walz and these fraudulent child care centers, I don't know what else is.
Well, to be fair, these scammers could have just been using, Tim Walz's office as a cover. Just F it, put his number there. So just to be fair, they could have just did that. But all right, guys, let's go ahead and get right back into CNN's coverage of it.
The Trump administration says it is now withholding all federal child care funding to the entire state. The agency says the state receives $185 million for 19,000 children, and now that money will be gone. And the agency did not specify any alternate plans for families who will be affected. DHS and the FBI said they were surging resources to Minnesota to investigate what they called suspected fraud sites. This all comes in response to a viral video posted by a MAGA content creator. He claims that he uncovered widespread fraud by Somali-run child care centers in the state. CNN is looking into those claims and has not independently verified the accusations, but the Deputy Secretary of Health and Human Services is taking the allegations at face value. Take a listen.
Intrepid journalists have made shocking and credible allegations of extensive fraud in Minnesota's child care programs. We believe the state of Minnesota has allowed scammers and fake daycares to siphon millions of taxpayer dollars over the past decade. Starting today, we require a justification, receipt, or photo evidence before we make a payment.
However, the so-called evidence comes from a man who has posted anti-Muslim and anti-immigrant content in the past.
Wrong, actually. Nick Shirley did not post any anti-Muslim propaganda. Here's the thing. He went out to Dearborn, Michigan, interviewed both sides. He interviewed the Muslims, he interviewed the Christians, and he gave both perspectives. So that's heavily misleading when you says anti-Islam or Islamophobic propaganda. Like, no, he didn't. He was getting both sides of the argument like a real journalist, or something that you guys can't do for some reason.
CNN's Whitney Wild speaks to the man behind that video and takes a look at his claims.
We're from CNN. Can we talk to you? This is MAGA YouTuber Nick Shirley. Back at a daycare in Minnesota, he alleged was a fraudulent facility in a now viral video.
People are going to say this is a left or right issue, but no, fraud is fraud. And so I'm not out here trying to put a twist on things.
Shirley's viral video, released over the weekend, in which he says he's uncovering tens of millions of dollars in fraud at Minneapolis daycares run by the Somali community, was retweeted by Elon Musk and Vice President J.D. Vance.
And here's the thing. One of the places that they shut down, the Leering Center, because that was like the most obviously fraudulent one. Yeah, check this clip out.
I will share that our team was notified that Quality Learning Center closed just over a week ago. And I believe the details that were given at that time were around space concerns. And that's what was, I will.
So yeah, lady from their office pretty much confirmed that, they was closed down over a week ago because of the quality concerns. So how are they out here still collecting a check and trying to fake like, they're not fraudulent? Stuff that CNN won't show you.
In the video, Shirley tries to open locked doors and talk to people at various daycares he claims are frauds.
Did you come during their normal operating hours when you came to visit?
I came at 11 a.m., I believe, and I also came the following day later in the day. The point of it is not whether or not I came at the right time of their operation hours. The point is that blacked out doors, they can't give you any information. You call that number, no one answers. I wasn't trying to go inside, and there should be a way for.
And guys, these guys have received about $2 to $3 million over the past 3 years in taxpayer dollars for what I believe to be about 60 to 90 kids they're supposed to have. 60 to 90 kids. And I mean, that's what they're getting millions of dollars for. But when CNN went in there, and of course they let CNN in, how many students they had? And CNN didn't ask no questions about this. They had 12 students, a dozen students in there, and CNN was just like, okay, everything's good here, guys. I guess the kid was just lying, but you didn't go over the facts and just actually figure out, there's supposed to be 60 kids in here, and I get not all kids show up on all day, but I'm like, dog, at least have 5 50%, like there should be 30, not just 12. We're giving you guys millions of dollars, well, or $1 million or thousands of dollars to take care of these kids. And there's only 12 kids? Like, what's going on? Well, they didn't tell you that part, huh? They forgot about that.
You actually be able to call that number and somebody be able to answer. These aren't real businesses.
But surely you don't think a daycare should just be unlocked. You shouldn't be able to just walk into a daycare.
No, that's true. No, that's true. Most daycares do have a closed, like, honestly, they are supposed to not let, like, really anybody in without an appointment or without properly verifying who they are. But you can walk up to a daycare, knock on their door and be like, hey, yo, can I check out rates? Now, the complaints, I'm gonna be fair about this. The complaints of the Somali community was that, hey, we thought he was ICE. And then the other complaint was that, oh, well, he showed up with a lot of people and scared us, so we didn't want to let him in. And then there were videos that Nick Shirley kind of, let the security hang back. He walked up there and they still denied him access. So it's either one, these guys are discriminating against white people. I mean, two, they're trafficking children, or three, there's some fraud going on. Right now, I'm kind of hoping three.
No, every daycare is locked.
Their doors are locked. And so, okay, you bring up a fair point. Then why can't they actually give me information how to enroll a child?
That's a good point. That's also a good point. I mean, they didn't have to be disrespectful. They could have been an upright establishment and just be like, all right, look, bro, here. This is how you get in. This is how you get enrolled. Even though we know you're the media, here. So let's play it cool. Let's play it clean. We have nothing to hide. Here's some information how to get your kid in. You need this, that, and the third, and we'll see you tomorrow if you're actually serious. And then he wouldn't be able to call them fraudulent because they're actually willing to give him service, they're willing to show him how to get in and all that good stuff. When you call the number, it leads to them and not just some random place.
Federal law enforcement has been investigating fraud in Minnesota for several years. Both Attorney General Pam Bondi and FBI Director Kash Patel said on social media they've indicted dozens of defendants. DHS has posted multiple videos of agents they say are conducting a massive fraud investigation.
Do you think that federal law enforcement hasn't done enough? I mean, they would say, look, these fraud cases have been going on, but they've already done like 80 indictments. The cases have been going on, for years.
And why did I show up one day in Minnesota and go to all these daycares, no children, they're receiving millions of dollars. We uncovered nearly $110 million in fraud in one day.
How do you know that all the allegations that you're making are true?
How do I know that they're true? Well, we showed you guys what was happening, and then you guys can go ahead and make your own analysis.
We're coming so we can make our own analysis. Are you 100% sure you're true?
Yeah, I am 100% sure I'm true.
CNN is looking into Shirley's claims.
Hi, my name's Whitney Wild. I'm a correspondent for CNN.
Bro, what?
We reached out to several of the daycares featured.
Hold on. I'm sorry, but now, if you're doing a proper investigation, right? Why are you calling in as a CNN correspondent as if they're going to tell a CNN correspondent the truth? Wouldn't you want to, if you're running a proper investigation, wouldn't you want to call in as a parent? Make sure you got your text me number. You use a local number from Minnesota, get your local number. It's pretty damn easy. And then call them and ask them, hey, how can I enroll my student in here? And if they're acting funny about it and they tell you they can't, then that should verify your claim. Not you calling as a CNN correspondent, think that they're going to be truthful with you. Like, are you serious? But okay, though. Let's watch her do this so-called investigation again.
Yeah, I am 100% sure I'm true.
CNN is looking into Shirley's claims.
Hi, my name's Whitney Wild. I'm a correspondent for CNN.
We reached out to several of the daycares featured in the now viral video. Only one daycare facility answered and said they are a legitimate business.
Have you seen the videos, purporting that some of these daycares don't have kids inside?
Minnesota Republicans say despite the new...
Oh my God. Like, bro, CNN, man, look, man, hire me. I could get to the truth faster than this lady right here. How could you not? Like I said, all you have to use a text me number, get you a local Minnesota number, call these people and ask for a tour, ask to see how you can get in, and there you go. And then actually go on that tour. You will see the kids, you'll see all that, and that is how you disprove Nick Shirley. Not calling in as a CNN correspondent like they're not going to run defense for themselves. Like, are you serious?
Focus from the Trump administration, they have been sounding the alarm on fraud for years.
We have talked about fraud. We have gotten stories. We've tried to push this forward every way that we can.
At the daycare where Shirley showed back up, a stream of children walk inside.
You're saying that this is a fraudulent daycare. There's kids being dropped off right now.
Yes, the Commissioner of Children literally said a week ago this place was closed.
Did you know
They're
that?
showing face right now.
A viral video, disputed claims, and their full fallout remains to be seen.
Dozens of fraud cases that DOJ is touting began during the Biden administration. Back in 2022,
True.
the U.S. Attorney's Office for Minnesota announced 47 indictments for this massive fraud scheme. Since then, they've indicted more than 30 more people, and in total, they have secured at least 56 convictions. Whitney Wild, CNN, Minneapolis.
The group chat is back to talk about all of this
Crazy.
right now. And
Crazy, guys. And you know what? They're right. No, this is actually got brought up in about 2020. So shout out to Project Veritas. And I'm about to show you guys something that you probably didn't hear about. But this isn't the only time that, you know, the Somalians in Minnesota or Minneapolis got caught up for fraud. All right, guys, man, check this out. Shout out Project Veritas.
James O'Keefe here in downtown Minneapolis at the scene of the crime. The person you're about to meet, Liban Mohammed, aka King Liban 1, boasts about the hundreds of...
Oh, before we get into this, shout out my man Jet. He says CNN pissed Nick. Yeah, that's true. CNN pissed Nick is better at the job, better at his job than they are. Sorry. But yeah, CNN is pissed that Nick is better at his job than they are. Because let's be real, like, what type of investigative journalism is this? Like, bro, when I was a kid, CNN used to do like undercover investigations. They used to do the same thing James O'Keefe did, but now all of a sudden they're too busy running defense for their own side. That's the problem. It's like y'all could have did something so freaking easy, like what I said. You didn't even have to put boots on the ground. Like, you guys could have honestly just did what Nick Shirley did, or you could have just called them with a throwaway number, a text me number, and that could have verified enough for you guys. But instead, you're attacking the messenger. I mean, okay. Yeah, trust me, it don't look like y'all trying to hide anything at all. Yeah, y'all playing it real smart right now.
absentee ballots in his car. This video,
but let's get
the person you're about to meet, Liban Mohammed, aka King Liban 1, boasts about the hundreds of absentee ballots in his car. This video is one of the first of its kind. A man self-incriminating himself, bragging about all the illegal ballot harvesting that he does.
Money is everything. Money is the key in this world. If you ain't got money, you should not be here, period. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like is everything. Campaign like about that. $200 iyo $100 waxa la ayida iyo awga iyo aska soo qaadeen. You cannot campaign that.
Oh wow.
You gotta have an investment to campaign.
So he pretty much saying you can't campaign off, you know, that $100, $200 from your grandma. You got to have real investments when you campaign. Oh yeah, you know, I mean, trust me, I'm sure everybody in Congress would agree with you on that.
You got to have a fundraisers. You got to have you got to have the whole team. Numbers don't lie. Numbers don't lie.
Whoa. Yo, he says all of these here are absent ballots. Can't you see? Look at all these. My car is full. My car is full. Absent ballots. Election fraud? Oh, and shout out Tay. He says I might as well do my own investigation, bro. You might as well do your own investigation at this point, because if this is what CNN is doing, oh man. I mean, we can all do a better job than CNN. Like I said, they're spending too much time trying to attack the messenger because they're trying to run defense for their own side, when they should be, you know, unbiased, since they are the news.
300 clear months soo dhacday oo Jamal Usman ya ciidamada hogaaminaysa aamino maxaa leedahay waa lagu kala baxay Soomaa meesha aad weyn waa generaalada ciidamada hogaaminaysa weeye sida ay la socotaan ya ilaahay haata shaqadu waa socotaa adeer saak 6 baan bilownay ilaahay haatana waa wadnaa waa noo jeedaa saacadana waa u jeedaan waa eegay horeysa saacadayda oo bixinay 2 in the morning, still hustling. 2 in the morning, still hustling.
I think it was both Ilhan Omar
and Jamal, but I think he was more with Ilhan Omar. My name is Omar, O-M-A-R, Jamal, J-A-M-A-L. I'm right now part of the Ramsey County Sheriff's Office, but also I'm the chair of the Somali Watchdog Group, and I have been involved in the community for the last 20 years.
Omar Jamal is the latest brave Project Veritas insider to come forward and expose a voter fraud scheme in Minnesota that will shock you.
Well, I want to be part of this investigation because of ongoing election fraud that we feel that we should bring to the attention of everyone. Therefore, chances are we can do something about it.
When we spoke with Omar Jamal, he actually repeated our PV insider motto, be brave.
Do something about it.
Omar Jamal secretly recorded conversations with the players involved in the voter fraud scheme to expose the criminal behavior he says is victimizing his own community and the integrity of the election process.
Liban didn't get it in a unique way. He just get them the way that everybody before him, or even maybe even after him, will do, which is go to the elders, probably maybe pay them and collect, help, to their men. He's helping them. So I think that's the process of collecting from the seniors from their buildings.
There was video, you can see the video. There was a video out and about that he has the ballots in his car. Right. And talking about the only way you can win is with money.
She uses money, and he's one of many people. He's not the only one who works for her.
Yeah, but that's just election fraud. And this is only 4 minutes of a 16-minute video that we could probably get into like a little bit later on. But let me show you what CBS News did and what they did to do their little bit of journalism or their investigation.
This is ABC Learning Center in Minneapolis.
They have to learn ABC and numbers.
Director Ahmed Hassan gave WCCO a tour after finding his daycare in the national spotlight.
All right, we've arrived to ABC Learning Center.
In a now
That's supposed to have like 60 kids on record, by the way.
viral video, right-wing YouTuber Nick Shirley claims nearly a dozen daycare centers in Minnesota are taking public funds but not providing a service. He says ABC Learning Center is one of them, knocking on the door in mid-December.
I would like to check a child in the daycare.
Hassan says his employee didn't respond because Shirley was in a group of about 8 people, and his staff were concerned about recent ICE activity.
Is this daycare committing fraud?
Hold on.
No.
Hold on. Now, reasonably, I get the whole 8 guys standing behind them and all that good stuff. I get that. But I mean, dog, if you know, everybody's here legally, then why are you afraid of ICE?
No, we're not committing fraud.
Hassan showed us security footage from the same day Shirley was here. According to the timestamps in the videos, this woman takes a young child into the center at around 9 a.m. that day, about 3 hours before Shirley arrives at the door closer to the street. Within the hour after Shirley leaves, a woman arrives at the other door.
Yes, and an hour after Shirley leaves, they're like, they're on to us. Bring more children. Like, quick, bring them in, guys, because one of these guys came over, we might be cooked.
With a stroller. A larger family heads inside a few hours later.
From the same van. And this is supposed to be a daycare van? Really? So you didn't just go around, just start collecting kids and start dumping them in here? And remember, this place is supposed to hold 60. So they're at least supposed to have 30 children in there. At least, well, or in my opinion.
Tuesday afternoon, WCCO found at least a dozen children at ABC Learning Center, which is licensed with the state. Records show Minnesota officials last visited the daycare in November, noting some corrected and ongoing violations related to day-to-day operations, but no record of fraud.
What did I do? I'm just a typical human being who wants to live and do the right thing. I have kids to feed.
Umi Hassan, the daycare's current owner, believes these latest fraud accusations are political. Both she and Hassan are Somali Americans.
We pay our taxes. We do whatever we can to be a law-abiding citizen. At the same time, when one Somali does something wrong, we all get collective punishment.
With Shirley's video now approaching 2.3...
Well, I'm sorry, lady, but you guys are kind of defending it. So, and would it be collective punishment if you guys were calling it out in your community, but you're not? And it's seeming to be rampant. So you can't sit here and just be like, oh, well, why are we all getting victimized? Or why are they all throwing us under a bus? Because you guys are defending it. Nobody's coming out and saying, yeah, this is wrong. I've noticed this too. Because it's obvious. And it looks like you all are benefiting from it. I'm not saying that all Somalians are doing it, but I'm gonna be real with you. I don't see much Somalians condemning it. And I mean, I'm gonna play on your religion about this one. Your religion tells you not to steal and not cause mischief in other land. I mean, what the fuck is this? So why don't you follow your book and, you know, abide by the law of this country and also not steal? I mean, it's right there in your effing book.
3 million views on YouTube alone. They say they are getting nonstop phone calls harassing them.
I was looking for a place for my granddaughter.
With many of those calls attached to out-of-state phone numbers.
They normally say, knock, knock, we're gonna come. You're gonna arrest, you know, something like that.
Hassan says they turned over attendance records to comply with the Department of Homeland Security request. They're now waiting to hear back. CBS News is reviewing records related to the same daycares. All but 2 have active licenses. And Aaron, while the active places have violations related to safety or...
Well, the active places have violations related to safety. And, you know, a couple of them aren't, you know, don't even have their licenses, which is also strange. But, hey, man, everything's all good on this side, guys. I mean, bro, hey, man, you gotta love left-wing media. You gotta love left-wing media journalism, man. It's top notch, is it not? Oh, sweet Jesus. But all right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and get over to Nick Shirley on PBD. Let's go ahead and react to this because he brought up some really good points. Let's go ahead and get right into it.
Unbelievable. And while you're doing this, are you seeing others that are doing, because I saw something with Ohio, right? Wasn't there something with Ohio? Another thing with Kent, Washington. Are these your friends or these are just others that are independently being inspired to do the same?
Like, I wouldn't say, some of them are my friends, but a lot of them are so probably just inspired by what I'm doing. And they're just, I would say they're like fellow comrades, I guess, like mutual respect for each one. I try not to give all my information to people because the reason why I've had my success is because how I go about and do stuff. So I'm not just like telling people to go and copy me, right? I think there's like an art form, and if you want, there's a way to be inspired, then there's a way to just copy.
You know, before we get into this, you know, I know things have been a bit serious, so let's have a joke. So let's have a bit of a comedic relief, okay, guys? Let's have a little bit of comedic relief. Enjoy the video. This will make you laugh.
Big talk on the TV. Somali boy count cash, move sneaky. Paper in the daycare, paper in the kitchen on the phone, different story, different vision. Every office, cousin got position. Every meeting, bro, I got a mission. Smile for the photos, suit look clean. Under the table, whole crew eat green. Somali scam king, hey, we run that. 8 bill gone, it can't get none back. On God, every hustle, every angle. Comrade, Carlo, say, flip it, untangle. Somali scam king, talk sweet, walk me, dress code halal, money so hot I'm clean. Repeat, sign here, that's the anthem. Whole block eating off the big boy scams. Damn, 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 damn. Somali scam king. Somali scam king. Talk sweet, talk sweet, talk sweet. Somali scam king. Talk sweet, talk sweet, talk sweet. Somali scam king. Talk sweet, talk sweet, talk sweet. Somali scam king. Freedom fighters, now they fight with spreadsheets. Laptop louder than the sound of the streets. Grand after grand, feeding all the kids. Outside parking lot full of new whips. Charity, trucking, fake school, fake farm. Whole application like reading the charm. Refugee program, we help we care. Back in Saxon, we just fit the shed. Comrade Carlos in the must front row at the door prayer. Plan where the funds go, one file here. One shell company there. By the time they notice, we in the air. Somali scam king. We run that 8 bill gone, they can't get none back. On God, every hustle, every angle. Comrade Carlos, say flip it untangle. Somali scam king. Talk sweet, walk me, dress code halal, money so hot I'm clean. Habibi, sign it, that's the anthem. Whole block eating off the big boy scams. Damn, 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 damn. Somali scam king. Somali scam king. Talk sweet, talk sweet, talk sweet. Somali scam king. Talk sweet, talk sweet, talk sweet. Somali scam king. Talk sweet, talk sweet, talk sweet.
That was freaking hilarious. Come on now. It put a smile on your face. I know you're mad about the Somali fraud, but that put a smile on your face. Come on now. All right, guys, let's keep it going.
Yeah, people.
Yeah, I will tell you, either way, I think it's phenomenal. Even if other guys are saying, and I'm going to go to what Nick does, go at it, because you can't be in 300 places at the same time, right? You have to be in, you know, you can, I'm looking at your eyes. You know what your eyes are telling me right now? You haven't slept a lot.
No, I haven't slept. The past 3 nights, I probably slept like 10 hours.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. But that's what it takes. I mean, look, here's the reality of it, folks. Let me tell you, today it's December 31st, okay? It's December 31st. It's New Year's Eve. He's not from Fort Lauderdale, okay? What is a 23-year-old doing in a city he's not to just come on a podcast? You know, he could say, well, you know, the average 23-year-old, you know what, why don't we do January 2nd after the New Year's? No. Hey, Nick, I want to do a podcast. I want to sit down and talk to you. Let's figure it out. I'm in Minnesota. Rob calls, boom, 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 boom. He's in here in town. We're doing these are things that, you know, most investigative journalists would need to do. You would expect people like this to do it. But today, the biggest competition they have is independent journalists that are willing to go out there and be edgy, that are willing to have 10 hours of sleep in 3 days to expose a story. So I'm proud of the work that you're doing. There's a lady that made a video and said, Nick, Shirley, please, if you see this. Did you see this video? Rob, can you play this clip? Watch this, folks. Go ahead, Rob.
Nick, Shirley.
Oh, and this lady's from Columbus, Ohio. And after she, and this is crazy, but after she released the video kind of saying, yeah, you guys need to come over here and check out the fraud of the Somali daycares here. Yeah, after that, she got threatened. She was getting threatened by the Somali community. And at this point, I mean, I'm about to go do the same thing at this point. I wish they would, to be quite honest with you. Because it's kind of effed up that you guys are willing to, you know, threaten an old lady, but let's see if you want to do the same thing to a grown man.
I hope you see this video. Please come to Columbus, Ohio. The reporting you did in Minnesota was amazing.
Epic.
Thank you for that. And if you come to Columbus, Ohio, you will find the exact same fraud. You will see the exact same things, daycares everywhere, the home health care. I mentioned that in my video. I do not have your bravery to go out here and knock on doors like you did. I don't even want to leave my room right now, okay? But you could come here and do what needs to be done.
Yeah, because she spoke out and it got serious for her. And apparently she must be in one of those Somali heavy areas, because that's the only reason she would know so well about it, is if you're one of them Somali heavy areas in Columbus. And she's talking about Columbus.
Please investigate. Please talk to our government officials. And you see how the police escorted you out of that building?
Oh, no, please talk to our officials, because, bro, they're selling us the fuck out. And I'll tell you that right now. Like, selling us clean out. They do not care. Bro, you know what? Let me show you my mayor. I think this was my mayor that did this, bro. And like I said, I'm in Columbus, Ohio, so my mayor's a Democrat. And it's kind of crazy what he came out and said. Let me see here. Who is this guy? Because I believe he is, the Secretary of State for Ohio. Okay, he's the Secretary of State of Ohio. Bro, check this bullshit out. Instead of defending us, look who's defending.
To my friends at the Somali American Chamber of Commerce, hello. It's Frank LaRose, your Ohio Secretary of State, and I just wanted to send you a quick message to say thank you. Just like successive generations of great American immigrant families have done, you all are contributing richly to the culture, to the business life of our state and our nation. This is
who, bro, they only hire themselves. No, they don't. I'm just being real with you too. There ain't no hatred for the Somali community in my heart. I love them, but let's be real. They only hire their own. And I mean, it's their prerogative to do so, but let's not pretend like they're giving jobs out to everybody. I mean, no, they not.
the story of my family 90 years ago when my great-grandfather immigrated from Italy and started a business. And this is the story that you all are writing for yourselves and for your future generations right now. What you all have done is truly, really remarkable. You're giving back so much culturally to this state. And I know that there are many great things to come. I look forward to all of the things that you all are going to do and have been doing as entrepreneurs. I say thank you for that. And
damn, like, well, then who the fuck is we? Chop liver? I mean, all right, bro. I get it. Oh, they're adding so much culture and jobs. I mean, not more than us, but all right, bro. It is what it is. I see. I see what it is. And that's why y'all gonna get investigated. And that's why we're gonna put boots on the ground. Because, oh, now Ohio representatives are speaking up. Like the Columbus mayor's running cover for the illegals and the Somalis. You got our Secretary of State. This guy's running cover for the Somalis. Oh yeah, we are in dark times here in Ohio. It's bad out. It's bad out. But all right, let's get back to PPD.
The Columbus police are on the same take, I am sure. Allegedly. Let me say allegedly before I got the Columbus police coming after me as well as the Somalis. It's a lot. In the meantime, please come here and investigate. You will find the exact same things. And the rest of the country needs to know that it is real. Thank you for all you are doing. And please, please, please stay safe.
Oh, yeah. And shout out to you, says S.E.T just sent a short of Nick getting an honest tour of a daycare in Gen Chat. It's pretty good. All right, I'll go ahead and check that out. And shout out to my man Jet. He said, we dodged the supernova. Man, we dodged the supernova. Governor Tim Walz could have been VP. Bro. Yeah, we'd have really been cooked. Bro, I'm like, bro, you think fraud would have been going? Bro, you think fraud is bad now? Imagine if Tim Walz was VP. Just imagine.
And by the way, this is one of many videos of people that are asking you to come to different places. Do you have plans? Because I'm sure you've seen the numbers while they're doing this. California wants to put a 5% tax on the wealthy, and then they get exposed for $24 billion of homelessness fund that they got. Newsom, that nothing happened to it. The train that they say they're going to build, $18 billion, nothing's been built yet. Not a single rail's been put there. All of these things that are being exposed. Some people may be saying, hey, Nick, maybe California, maybe New York, maybe this. Are there certain places you're targeting next?
Yeah, I have a whole list of places I want to go next, especially with the fraud. So me and David will be going to more cities. I'm going to bring David because David's the man, dude. Everyone loved him.
Tell me why.
But he's super smart, and he just cares about the country, and he cares about law being upheld. And fraud is fraud. Like, it's so.
I mean, that is true. The old guy he was rolling around with, bro, he had the numbers. He says, look, you got 60, you're supposed to have 60 kids here, and you're getting about $1 million so a year. Where the F are these kids? And like I said, if the Somali community don't start speaking up, I'm going to start giving y'all the 3 options. I mean, look, it's either fraud, trafficking, or, well, discrimination. You just don't want nobody else but y'all own in these daycares.
Annoying that you have people receiving millions of dollars. Meanwhile, we are all working so hard just to give our sometimes even half of our check to the government, right? And so we'll be going to more places. When you have a place like California where they just lose $24 billion, it needs to be investigated. People deserve to know where they're going, especially when it's affecting your quality of life if you're living in California.
Yeah, there's no question about it. By the way, Theo Vaughn yesterday, did you see what he tweeted yesterday?
Yeah, he's like, why are we paying taxes?
Why are we paying taxes? If you're paying taxes, it's because you want to see good happen with the taxes that you're paying.
Yeah, and I think what's so amazing is my journalism is actually creating change. What we saw with, what's the department called? The not HSI.
HHS?
HSS, yeah. HSS.
HHS, it's the 100 what is it,
Health
$85 million that they're stopping.
Yeah. So what's so amazing about what I'm doing right now with my journalism is that it's actually creating change. So people are mad at me for this, though. You're seeing them come at me on CBS, CNN, and every single time they point out something, they say conservative YouTuber, MAGA YouTuber. They just can't admit that I'm creating real change inside of the country right now. And never before have one of their investigations ever led to a point where they say, oh, wait, we're going to stop funding and we're going to make sure everything's legit before we start giving them money. I mean, I could, with that video alone, I could have just saved the country hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars.
Well, I think you did. And I think what you did is.
Well, hold on, though. I do got to show Toad's video. This is actually pretty revealing right here. So Nick Shirley did actually get an honest tour of Somali daycare, guys. Check this out. Like,
From this daycare center, we headed over to the infamous Quality Learning Center, which actually spells Quality Leering Center on the outside of their sign. That's how blatant this fraud is here at this daycare.
Come in and let me show you around my daycare center. This is the fake playroom with no kids. Totally empty, as you can see.
Now let me show you where we count the tax money. As you can see, business is booming. And if anyone tries to accuse us of wrongdoing, our Governor Tim just labels them as a white supremacist.
We love Tim.
I bet they do. I bet they do. Shoot, I love Tim too if he was working for me like that. But all right, guys.
A lot of people are now getting exposed and they're not happy about it. Matter of fact, there was when you were in Minnesota, a guy pulled up to you, right? And he says, I think I know what you're doing. Okay. Why don't you just say what you really want to say, right? This is the exchange. Rob, is this yesterday or just a couple days ago?
This is yesterday.
This is yesterday.
Yeah, so we have a whole nother video coming out about other fraud that's taking place.
You have a whole new video coming out.
Whole new video. It's going to be a masterpiece because it is crazy. And each and every single time.
More than the first?
Oh, yeah. It's going to be crazier because now the Somalis were they were after me. Like they were coming and people were stopping in the middle of intersections, hopping out of their car. And I had to get security for this video, coming out, just trying to literally attack me.
I saw one of the videos that somebody tried to attack you and you try to protect your camera guy.
Yeah.
Is that still part 1 or is that part 2?
There's so much going on. I don't know.
Got it. You know which one I'm talking about? Because I saw one of the clips where you're like, no, you didn't let the guy hit your camera guy. Every time they were swinging at the camera guy, you were standing in front of it.
Yes, I think that was part 1. Part 1, yeah.
Could have been.
Yeah, that was part 1. This one, people were literally pulling over and getting out, like in the middle of an intersection at a red light. They're stopping their car and coming out, and they're just coming out and trying to slam me for being a racist, for being Islamophobe. Meanwhile, I'm interviewing another black man in Minnesota.
And here's the thing: how is he an Islamophobe again? Because I know, like, come on now, dog. Come on now. I know real Islamophobes. Like, let's be real. Like, and I know people who are kind of borderline Islamophobe, and he's not speaking out bad against Islam. He never has. He went to that Dearborn, Michigan, little rally or the protest. It was pretty fair. He heard both sides out. And I mean, that's all he did. So he never really said anything bad about Islam. So I'm not sure where they picked up this whole Islamophobia thing. But let's be real. He is investigating a whole bunch of Muslims. And I'm be real with you. The more you fight this guy, the guiltier y'all look.
And they're calling me a racist.
Show that one video, Rob. The one with the guy saying, why don't you just tell the truth on what you're trying to do? Go ahead, Rob. That one.
Yes, sir.
Why are you sensationalizing the propaganda?
What are we sensationalizing?
To attack our community. What's your final objective?
We're not attacking your community by any means.
Are you making good money from this?
We're looking for...
Bro, I know you making good money from this. Hold on, bro. Like a lot of probably went off on bro, like, whoa. But who are you talking to, bro? Because you're the one making money off this. You making like hundreds of thousands. Don't come at me talk about how much money I'm making. Please.
Fraud.
No,
For instance, can you answer our question? Where's Safari Transportation Company 607?
1 second.
It's not there.
How much money are you? How much money are you making?
Dreamline Security.
How much money are you making
I make money
off
off of YouTube. That's how I make my money.
Exactly. So you're making money off of sensationalizing.
That's my job.
And attacking the Somali community.
I'm not attacking you guys. We're asking.
I'll tell you the reason why this is happening. All right. Let me tell you the reason why you're attacking this.
Correct?
Yeah.
This has nothing to do with race. This is fraud.
This is absolutely has to do with us being Muslim.
No, it does not.
All right, and us being from Africa. This is
it has nothing to do with y'all being Muslim. I'm gonna be real with you. If it was a all white community, we'd be on their ass. Hispanic on your ass. Black on your ass. So it doesn't matter what race, what religion you carry. If you're doing fraud in America, you deserve to be looked at. I mean, and if it seems like the whole community is in on it, then I'm sorry, but the whole community is going to get the side eye. And that's y'all fault for, well, not really speaking up about it. Let's be quite honest here. Like, y'all need a group of Somalians who are out there looking for them damn selves. And then we'll believe you guys that, oh, we don't want this to happen either. I don't know, man. I don't see enough of y'all speaking up.
Constitutional argument. If you don't want us here, change the freedom of religion. Say, listen, we don't want Muslims in this country anymore.
We're not saying
no. Because when I go onto your comments, when I go onto your comments, what I see is people that say we do not want Muslims here. Kick every single Muslim in Minnesota out of Minnesota.
That's the comment.
You're preparing for the Somali community to maybe be taken to concentration camps. Just from the Japanese community. All right. You're sensationalizing.
No, we're not.
All right, something that
we're asking about.
What you do. You hate Muslims.
I'm not saying I hate
you hate Muslims. Why are you attacking us? Are we the only community that suffers because of fraud?
We're talking about
fraud. Are we the only community that does fraud? Listen, let me say something.
About fraud.
We have what?
I mean, let's be real. Sounds like the fraud money is circulating in y'all community, so y'all ain't suffering from fraud. Y'all the benefactors of it. It's the American people who are suffering from your guys' fraud. I mean, let's be honest. We're already honest paying taxpayer or the honest working taxpayer.
Providers.
Okay. What did he just say?
Even it's 2000.
Are we okay? Let it continue because it's important what he's saying here. Sorry.
We're gonna sacrifice the safety of 80,000 people because of fucking 2,000 providers. Are you fucking mad?
Jeez,
Are you
chill, bro.
stupid? You're sensationalizing.
Dude, I
what
love
about
your
a mass
courage.
shooting happens in Minnesota?
That's what you can't teach, folks.
Any Somali,
Oh,
one
my
single
God.
Somali gets hurt. It's because of you sensationalizers. You son of a bitch. Sensationalizers.
Wow, you're
Get the
very
fuck
nice.
out of our neighborhood.
Very nice.
Get the fuck out of our neighborhood.
Can you tell me where the
Get the fuck out of our
Oh,
neighborhood.
let me
We don't
tell
want
you.
you here.
Oh, your neighborhood.
Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
I ain't gonna lie, I'd have grilled this guy. I'd have been like, bro, your book literally tells you guys not to steal and not to cause mischief in other land. That's literally in y'all book. Like, first 30-minute read of your book, that's literally what it's talking about. So, like, how the hell y'all miss this? If anything, I know there's a lot of guys saying fuck Islam in the chat and all that, and you can have your opinion. That's fine. But, bro, these guys ain't real Muslims if you're standing up for, like, bro, for theft. You're not real Muslims at that point. And I'll call out the entire Somali community on that. I mean, if you guys are supporting this, none of you guys are real Muslims because you're not abiding by your book. Like, let's just keep it real.
You want to sensationalize? You want to click? You got clicks. You want to click?
Okay. So you can pause it right there. Listen, you can't teach courage. You cannot teach courage. You can read all the books in the world. You cannot teach courage. You either have it, you don't have it. You got it. Major props to you. By the way, here's Newsweek. You ready? This is from AP. When he says, why don't you go target other audiences, other communities? From AP in Newsweek, Rob, if you can pull up this article, you know which one I'm talking about. We read about this yesterday. AP citing the U.S. Attorney's Office for Minnesota reported that Somali Americans made up 89% of those that had been charged in connection with the case of December 19. Trump has repeatedly criticized the state's large Somali community in recent weeks, meaning all the fraud that's happening, 89% of it was tied to that community. The new allegations follows a series of fraud cases involving government programs in the state. The firestorm over alleged mass fraud began earlier this year and intensified in December after the state acting U.S. attorney said $9 billion or more in federal funds allocated to 14 state-run programs since 2018 have been stolen. Again, 89% was tied to Somalis. We don't care what nationality you are. We just want to know who's doing it. If you come to America, you assimilate, you make the place a better place, let's turn you into a flipping hero. But if you come and you steal from taxpayers and you have the data that came up, Rob, which is so frustrating, that says 10 years.
Crazy thing is, man, they do this in their home country and their hands get chopped off. That's like absolutely amazing. I mean, y'all do that here, you get a jail sentence, which they should be getting. Here's the thing. I mean, the left is damn near fighting on us on that. I mean, they're really trying to run defense for this when they should be doing an investigation themselves. And if they find that they're innocent, then great. But they're not even trying to do that. They're just trying to attack the messengers and trying to call us dumb for what? Looking at the evidence, looking at what our eyes are showing us. Okay.
After, you know which one I'm talking about, the chart I sent it to yesterday. Folks who lived in America, Minnesota, for 10 years plus, what percentage of them were still taking welfare or social, social programs that we have? 78% were 10 years after living in America. In Minneapolis, what do you mean 78%? 78%. These are numbers and stats that are out there. Rob, if you don't have it, I'll send it to you so the audience can see this. And by the way, while I'm looking for this, can you do me a favor while I'm looking for this, Rob? Can you play the clip of that one guy saying, yes, you white man, yes, you white girl, you go work while I'm paying for this. Yes, you know which one I'm talking about. I sent that to you yesterday. And
the entitlement's insane from these people.
The level of boldness. What is the energy while you're talking to this guy in that video? What happened afterwards? Did he leave? Did cops come? Did security come? What happened afterwards?
A whole mob of Somalis came. Like they stopped the street and they just started honking. People? Probably at least 10.
And were they, did they at all at any point try to hit you, swing at you, or no?
That guy kept coming after me, and security had to keep getting in front of him.
Your security or his security?
My security.
So you had to hire security for the second time around you went to Minnesota.
Oh yeah, I had to get massive security for this video. I had 4 people with me because of how crazy these people got. I mean, literally, they pushed me. That guy pushed me off the street. He came after me, and you see, they try to call you Islamophobe, racist. I'm like,
yeah, and they should be giving this man a high five. He's calling out the criminals in y'all community. And like I said, when they defend this, I'm gonna be real with you. Looks like everybody's getting a piece of the pie. Everybody's getting their cut, so everybody got to defend the fraud. And if you really think about it, I mean, the whole welfare system they got going on, it's like millions upon billions of dollars being circulated in that community, and it don't leave, and it doesn't leave. That's a problem.
I'm like, well, answer the question. Where is Safari Transportation? Is it right here? Because the address says it's right here from the state of Minnesota, but it's a wiring company. It's for money. And he wouldn't answer the question. They can't, they know fraud's happening. Like that guy dang well knows that fraud's happening inside his place. He said, are we the only community that commits fraud? Are you only coming after us because we commit fraud? And
yeah, it's pretty wild. This is the clip of a guy, and we verified on X to see if it's real or not. This is a Somali guy. Look what he's, folks, if you're wondering, like, hey, be fair with this community, be fair with that community, and all this other stuff, it's very simple. Find out for yourself on what they're saying. Watch the energy of this guy. What does this decrease your blood pressure, or does it increase your blood pressure? Go ahead, Rob.
You work all day. You don't got shit. Thank you for working so hard so I can be home all day, free. I can use my EBT. Go to work for me, white boy, white girl. Yeah, go to work for me, you white animals. Work for me. And the U.S. government they work for me. All of you work for me. Now go to work.
Yeah. By the way, I showed this to Jake. I said, is this 3D? He starts laughing. I said, is this AI? He says, Pat, that doesn't look like. Every second he's watching it, he started going like, maybe it is AI, because this doesn't sound right for somebody to talk like that. Then I had Humberto and Rob look into it.
No. That's exactly how they talking, and that's exactly what they doing. I don't know why. I'm just like, yo, do you not understand that people are already infuriated with y'all community right now? You go out and make a video like that? At that point, I mean, hey, man, talk about cruising for a bruising. All I can say is, bro, don't step out your neighborhood. You might want to stay inside your Somali community, because if you leave it and people recognize you, don't be surprised if somebody want to have a conversation with you about that, video you made.
To Grok, because, it verifies the videos. That's an actual video. There's another video, Rob, of a guy that's at Home Depot. And a Home Depot employee is getting upset at these guys, and he says, do you have our kind of cash here? Let me throw some cash your way. Let me throw some cash your way. Did you see that clip? I texted to you earlier. You should have it. I just sent it to you again. If you check your your text, you'll have it. While you're doing that, Rob, can you pull up that chart? And I'm going to go to Nick on this one. If you can pull up the chart. So this is the chart. This is a very important chart, guys.
81%.
81. Can you tell them what this chart is, Nick, please?
Yeah, so this chart's showing the population of Somalis inside of Minnesota compared to native households. And you're having 81% of the Somali population is on welfare, and 54% on food stamps, and 73% on Medicaid. So it's not even, and I'll tell you why there's so many and why they're able to do this is, for instance, just take the daycares, for example. So a Muslim man, he's able to have 4 wives. They go and work at these daycares. They don't actually get any tax. They don't get any, how do you say, like, to get taxed? These people don't actually get taxed, or they don't actually file that they're working. So they're just getting paid cash, as you saw in the video. And so then when they go to the office and whatnot, they're able to say, well, we need money because we're not working. And so you have 4, you could have up to 4 wives all collecting welfare.
Damn.
For one marriage. What a business model.
Yeah. And
yo, you got 4 wives collecting food stamps, 4 lives getting a welfare check. Man, you got 4 houses because they all got Section 8. Like, what? 4 houses because they all got Section, bro. Crazy.
They're all living inside these communities, and so their money is just getting funneled around. Literally billions of dollars is getting funneled around inside of these communities. And they're also collecting welfare on top of it. So they don't pay for their food. They're not paying for their housing because they're all on welfare. Meanwhile, they're getting cash because the money they get from CCAP, from these daycares, for instance, is all tax exempt. And just wait till I tell you guys about how they're moving millions of dollars to the airport and sending it back to Somalia.
Airport?
Yes. I had a whistleblower come on my new video that we're creating. And inside the Minneapolis airport, for years now, you can even see it. Fox News covered in 2017. They have been funneling millions of dollars in cash through TSA.
Through TSA?
Through TSA.
I saw something about this. I'm trying to see if it's the same thing.
Yeah, I believe it probably is, because they're literally receiving millions of dollars, and they just send it back over to Somalia, and they just have to get to Dubai. They have to get to Dubai so they can then send out that money.
Yeah, here's a New York Post story, Rob. Minnesota multimillion-dollar daycare fraud reportedly stretches back to 2014. Saw scammers leave U.S. with up to $1 million a pop in cash. Okay, so this story, tens of millions of dollars in cash transported in luggage, started flying out of Minneapolis-St. Paul International Airport around a decade ago, with a marked uptick beginning in 2016, with travelers departed with a total of $84 million and another $100 million the next year, Fox 9 reported in 2018. The troubling report has taken an explosive new significance since the feds alleged a mind-boggling up to $9 billion of fraud scheme in which supposed businesses such as daycares were taken away. So here's a question. How much of this you think Tim Walz knew is happening?
Oh, he's known about it. That's why he's saying fraud's been happening for years. He literally knows that fraud has been happening. Like, he is so stupid. Like, he knows it's happening. If someone's stealing money from me, and if I'm giving them money and they're going to do something with it, what am I going to do? I'm going to stop giving them money. He's enabled and continued to let this fraud happen. And so is everybody else inside of that Capitol building, because they're the ones writing the checks.
Yeah, Rob, is this the clip? Because this kind of brings me to a complete different thing that I'd like some people to look into. Rob, is this him talking about that he knows fraud is happening?
In 2019, yep.
This is a 2019 clip.
Yep.
Okay, go for it. 6 years ago.
Clear that the legislative audit report gave us a clear path. It told us that we could do better. And just like Minlar's, I now own that, and I own the fix for that. But I do want to be clear before we take some other questions on this, that what needs to stop is a demonization of one community involved in this. What needs to stop is an absolutely unproven
so, I mean, I just showed you, like, with the Project Veritas video, how it was getting caught up in election fraud. We got daycare fraud. I mean, bro, they're sending money through TSA. I mean, Jesus, what aren't they doing?
Storyline that continues to resurface on the House floor, that this money went to terrorists and it's targeted at one group of our citizens here, of Minnesotans. We'll own that this thing needs to be fixed. We'll own that there were problems in this. We will own that there are fixes, and we think we proposed the right amount, but we're open to that to try and close this. But again, I am not going to allow folks to use this as a hammer against a group of people.
Okay.
Shout out to Jay. He says, damn, them 72 versions will get you paid in Minnesota. I'm telling you, bro. Like, bro, here's the thing. Like, so CBS, the what was it? The daycare they visited is marked down to have about 60 children. There was only 12 in there. AKA, these guys know they're caught and they're trying to fill it up with children to try to make it seem like they're not fraudulent. But I'm like, let's look at the papers here, and you guys are supposed to have, well, 4 times this amount of children. So what's going on? But CBS don't want to ask those questions for some reason. Some reason we got to.
So he's not going to allow to use this as a hammer. Okay, so then the next question is, how do you think he benefit from it? Not just election-wise, but you think he benefit from it financially? How do you think he benefit from it?
There has to be some sort of incentive where he's benefiting from it, whether it be he's actually receiving money or obviously the votes, but he has to have some sort of incentive to allow this happen. Maybe he's getting somebody else rich, and then he's then getting money to funnel for his next campaign, whatnot. That's kind of how I even had a mayor in California tell me once that that's why there's so many nonprofits, is because they create these nonprofits, and that money can go back to funneling somebody else's campaign. But so Tim Walz, he's probably receiving some sort of benefits. I know he's been to China a lot.
I mean, shoot, I got a video for you guys kind of connecting what he's saying here. Like, check this video out, guys. Because you know that Leering Center guy? So the son of the owner came out and defended the Leering Center that was actually shut down before, you know, he even stepped out there. It was supposed to be shut down. For some reason, it's still up. But yeah, check this video out, because they have political connections. I mean, shoot, you get $1 million fraud. When you get $1 million in fraud, I mean, you got to have some type of political connection, I guess.
Am I going crazy, or is this the same guy? Is the manager of the infamous Learning Center in Minneapolis also one of the guys that was dancing in the back of Mayor Jacob Frey's election victory video, the one that went super viral where he thanks his constituents in Somali for re-electing him last month? Abraham Ali claims to be the manager of the Quality Learning Center and says that there is no fraud going on whatsoever there. He very well may just have a doppelganger who happens to look just like him that lives in the very same city he lives in, or he could be one of the Somali community leaders who is working with local electeds to keep some of these fraud schemes going. But that would just be crazy, right? I could be totally wrong to assume this, but he's got a very unique face and hairline.
Put out a certain message about a certain group.
I mean, he looks so similar to this guy going...
Hey, no.
I mean, hypothetically speaking, it would make sense that someone running a fraudulent business would have a vested interest in who is in control politically in the city where they are running said fraudulent business. And Jacob Frey is no stranger to simping for Somalia. Hell, he even puts out campaign videos in Somali for
Maaga Egawa Jacob Fry. Doke Magalada, Minneapolis.
And the cherry on top is that Governor Tim Walz, after being radio silent, finally comes out and puts out a statement days later, just a few minutes ago. And what does he do? He blames Trump.
Yep.
Trump keeps letting fraudsters out of prison. I'm curious, do you guys think this is a...
Yeah, I mean, Trump let a couple fraudsters out of prison. He pardoned one. I think he pardoned a fraudster before, and they're trying to relate that. Well, if Trump is doing it, so why can't we allow fraud? I mean, whoa. Trump didn't allow fraud at all, actually. I mean, what? He pardoned a fraudster that did 20 years, and now you guys want to relate that to current fraud going on today? Is wild. And it's a crazy reach, guys. I just want to let y'all know that's reaching. But all right, let's go ahead and get back to our guy, Nick Shirley.
Tim Walz. So Tim Walz, he's probably receiving some sort of benefits. I know he's been to China a lot, Tim Walz. He's actually not even from Minnesota. He was born in Nebraska. I don't even know if he owns a home in Minnesota. Like, I don't think he actually physically owns a home in Minnesota. He lives in the governor's mansion, but lots of really strange things underneath Tim Walz. And why would it take, if you're giving somebody millions of dollars and you notice that millions of dollars are going to places where they shouldn't be, how many years do you think it'd take for you to solve that issue?
6 months, 3 to 6 months.
Yeah.
You'd put the entire team behind it because you want to be able to gain credibility that we're addressing this issue and it cannot continue.
So he's had 6 years. And then 2023, he says, it's either 2023, I think he said, we're going to give them a raise. We're going to give the childcare a raise in Minnesota.
Yeah, this is a little weird because the one thing when Kamala Harris was choosing the VP, and is it going to be Newsom? Newsom rejected it. Is it going to be Josh Shapiro? They're not comfortable that he was Jewish and that he had some skeletons in a closet from a previous friend that he protected. They claimed that was the reason, right? And Josh is not a fan of Kamala Harris. Nobody in a million years thought it was going to be a guy named Tim Walz. But here's what happened, Rob. If you want to pull this up, when they announced Tim Walz, what's weird is 24 hours after announcing Tim Walz, a record-breaking $36 million went into the campaign. It was a record-breaking thing that happened.
Whoa.
I don't know if you knew this or not. Harris's campaign raises $36 million in 24 hours after announcing Walz as running mate. Where'd that money came from?
They were trying to get their, they're trying to get their helping hand, Tim Walz, into the presidency, into the White House. So, because then who's going to catch him then? Who's going to catch the Somalians running fraud all through Minnesota if Tim Walz was VP? Now we know why. 36 million just floods in 24 hours right into Kamala Harris's campaign purse. That she still went into debt in, by the way. So it didn't really help.
Of course, someone can investigate this. And they said this was a record-breaking number. Who is Tim Walz? It's not like it's a massive name. Where's that money coming from? We don't know who this individual was to be able to get this kind of money, but it gets people to question where this money came from.
Yeah, 100%. That's kind of goes back to my point that they'll start these organizations or start these daycares, and then they can just get all this money tax-free, and then they can funnel it wherever they want.
Yeah, sort of Leering Center.
Yeah, so that is the part where how is he winning from doing this? Then there's also some people that were speculating, saying, Tim Walz getting in. This is such a big issue nationwide with Democrats in different places. I even saw one that said Pennsylvania is also another place they're looking into. If this becomes a national thing on the Democratic side for fraud, this is not just bad for Tim Walz. This is bad for everybody. Yesterday, Scott Jennings on CNN, I don't know if you saw this exchange between Scott Jennings and Dear Abby.
Yeah.
Did you see that exchange, Rob? If you want to play this clip, it was Scott doing his typical thing, which is, destroying everybody on that show and, the CEO of CNN. Rob, if you want to play this clip real quick, watch this exchange, folks.
Why is it that right now everything seems to be about whether or not the people involved here are Somali, even though one of the biggest people who were involved in one of these frauds was not Somali at all. She was a white woman. So respond to that.
Doesn't that disprove everything he just argued?
Well,
they're obviously rounding up
nobody
anybody. They're rounding up everybody who is involved in fraud.
No, they're not rounding up everybody. They're all talking about Somalis. That's the point.
I want them to round up anyone who is involved in defrauding American taxpayers of what apparently amounts to $9 billion in a very, very small state. Somali, whether they're citizens, immigrants, white, I don't care.
You don't care if
I
they
want
target
the
one
fraud
community?
to stop.
But do you support the targeting
fraud
of
to
this
stop.
one community or
I
not?
support the
you think
targeting.
that's the right thing to
I
do?
support the
Or do you
targeting.
think that's
I mean, bro, what are you talking about? Let's not talk about what's the right thing to do is to catch this fraud. I mean, if an entire community gets called out for it, it is what it is. They shouldn't be committing that fraud. So if in this Somalian community and there's a whole lot of Somalians committing fraud, I mean, they threw themselves under the bus. Here's the thing. They're further throwing themselves under the bus because there's not that much of them speaking out about it. So far, I've only heard one Somalian guy speak up about this. Not too much. So they're throwing themselves under the bus. And the people the Somalians who committed this fraud, they threw their own community under the bus. So don't blame us.
Engaged in fraud.
But do you support the targeting of the Somali American community
If
as
they are-
directed by the president?
if they are
of the United States
engaged
based
in
on their
fraud,
ethnicity?
That's not what he said.
That's it.
That is precisely what he said.
If data says it's the case, who cares? Go keep playing it.
Should that make them immune?
That's a straw man argument.
No.
Just answer the question.
I did.
Should we
I want
target
anyone
people
involved in
based on
fraud
their
to be targeted.
ethnicity?
Anyone involved in fraud.
But not based on their ethnicity.
I want it based on whether they're involved in
Is it
fraud.
so really so hard to answer that
Yes.
question?
I
Scott?
want it.
Yes.
I,
Is it
I
so
said
hard?
The only
to sit there and
criteria
say we shouldn't target people
the
based on
only
their ethnicity?
criteria I
Can you
have
say
is fraud.
we shouldn't
Can you
target
say-
people based on
can
their
you
ethnicity?
say-
I
can
can
you-
say that.
can
Can
you
you say
say
that?
I can say
I
that.
say it. Everyone
It should not be
here can say
targeting.
Can you
Anyone
say-
who's not a
people based
deplorable
on their
human
ethnicity
being
is
can
bad.
say you
But
shouldn't
Scott
target
Jennings
people.
won't say that. Why won't you say that?
Because
Scott?
I don't agree that that's what's happening.
Oh,
I
no,
don't agree with your
the president-
fallacy.
the
I don't
president-
agree with your
But
stupid.
you've heard Donald Trump say that.
ad hominem attacks
It is-
are the
it is-
There's
lowest
another
form of
clip on this one,
argument,
Rob.
Scott.
There's
the
another
lowest
clip where he is just going at it with Abby. It's an exchange between the two of them. But finally, these types of conversations, is this the one?
I think, no, that's
There's one that he's going with Abby back and forth. And it's a very, very strong exchange that they're having. The point is, at this point, is this the one?
This is where they talk about Tim Waltz.
I mean, yeah, I'd be irritated with them too. I'm like, you guys are really trying to defend this. And instead of just being real about it and being like, yeah, there's fraudulency that we should stop. You guys are sitting here trying to say, oh, you're trying to throw a whole entire community under the bus. Oh, you guys are being Islamophobic and racist. No, we're not. No, we're not. Okay, yes, some people are taking it there by saying, oh, this is what Islam, or oh, these Somalians all gotta go. But no, that's not all of us. A lot of us just want the fraudulency to stop and those who are involved to get arrested, regardless of their race. It don't matter to a lot of us. Like I said, some of y'all take what the extremes say too seriously and not understand that most of us kind of just want the fraudulency to stop, and we're not trying to throw this entire Somalian community under the bus, but they are heavily involved, and you guys got to accept that.
Claiming that fraud was
Ain't our
white
fault. It's
supremacy.
theirs.
Yeah, this is the one. Go ahead.
It's Democrats who have put Somali diaspora in Minneapolis at the center of their party and their state's politics. It's a small portion of the population. There is a bunch of fraud that goes on. And even Tim Walz has claimed that any investigation of this fraud is akin to white supremacy,
No,
which is
he
a
hasn't.
ridiculous
He has not
allegation.
claimed that. He has not said
He
that.
has said
He
that.
had never He has not said that.
This is what happens when your own federal government wages war against you. This is what happens when they target communities for their own benefit. This is what happens when they scapegoat. And this is what happens when they no longer hide the idea of white supremacy, the idea of white supremacy, the idea of white supremacy, the idea of white supremacy.
See, this is why you can't do things like that today. There's a 17-year-old kid that's a great editor that knows how to take it, find it, and he has all the time in the world, dear Abby. You can't say stuff like that with CNN anymore. You can't. Someone like a 23-year-old Nick Shirley that's fearless with courage is going to come and say, let me investigate this a little bit more if this is true or not, if he ever said this or not. Go ahead.
Yeah, Tim Waltz said it himself.
Yeah.
He called me and everybody else a white supremacist.
Yeah.
Which is wild. It's like, so because they're investigating Somalians, they're white supremacists. So because you investigate any group of people that isn't your own, you're going to be a white supremacist as a white man. So if you're a white man and you want to investigate a bunch of black people, Mexicans, or I don't know, Somalians, yeah, you're a white supremacist for that, man. Like, bro, chill out with all that white supremacy you're doing. I know it's really investigation, but as soon as you investigate somebody outside your race, white man, bro, that's white supremacy. You need to chill out with all that. I know it sounds retarded, but come on, man. This is what the liberals is giving us. I got to sell it to you, right?
Yeah.
For simply just caring about fraud.
Yeah.
And that's why he's allowed fraud to happen, because he's so scared of being called a racist, be called an Islamophobe, and for saying things for what they are. That fraud is fraud. It's a fact that the Somali population inside Minnesota are committing 89% of the fraud.
89% of the fraud in Minnesota is coming from Somalis.
Yes.
I mean, what does that do to you? I mean, the question then becomes, from the White House.
I tell you, that's going to radicalize some people against Somalians. I'm going to go check that myself. 90% of fraud is committed by Somalians. It's crazy. In Minnesota,
yesterday, Eric Trump tweeted, I don't know if you saw this tweet. The best part about this tweet is the comments below. And Eric Trump, we're friends with Eric, but Eric tweets something and says, I don't know if you saw this, Rob. He says, man, people better start getting right there. He said, people better start going to jail in Minnesota. And the most common retweet was, dude, your dad's the president. Like, meaning, you give him a call and do something. But the reality of it is, if an Eric Trump is saying people better start going to jail. Don Jr. had you on, I think, last night. You were on a show last night with him. People simply want to see if anyone's going to be held accountable or not going into 2026. Do you think with the work you're doing, you're almost forcing them to have to make a decision of people getting arrested? And if that, have you started seeing people getting arrested? Like when you went to Minnesota, did you see the government there as well?
Yes.
Going knocking on doors?
Yeah. And that was directly because of my YouTube video. Nice. And because of the video that went viral on X. So when have you ever seen a piece from a journalist, from a YouTuber, that's created such a change where literally within hours, they launch a full-fledged investigation to go and crack down on the fraud?
I mean, you made him look real incompetent. I mean, let's be real. I think a lot of people's lives, I mean, not lives, but jobs were on the line after that. Like, hold on, bro. Your job is to go out here and inspect these daycares, and a lot of them are looking fraudulent thanks to this YouTube video. So if you don't go out there and clear our name, y'all getting fired. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of inspectors who got a fire put under their ass for that.
This one of them?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, Rob, can you play this?
God, go door to door.
What did they find here? What's this one?
They're just going door to door, just
looking for people.
Asking people.
Well, that's what I'd have been on too. I'd have been like, bro, if y'all don't go out there and go door to effing door, this kid on YouTube just exposed the entire community, and it looks like the entire community is fraudulent. It looks like we're not doing our effing job. I would have low-key have been on the same thing. If y'all can go door to door, I don't give a fuck. But just make sure that they are a valid business.
People about fraud. Because I guarantee inside of this business, there's probably a transportation company that's also labeled there. There could be a home healthcare business there. There could be an adult daycare, and it's a grocery store. So that's how these companies are operating. I went to so many places where they don't even have the real business.
Wow. So this could be 3 or 4 businesses.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. What else did you find, Rob? Have they made any major arrests? Have you seen people walking out getting arrested? I haven't seen any of that yet. I haven't seen any of that yet that's taken place. I haven't seen the full-on, like the way 1980s when Rudy Giuliani went out there and a bunch of mobsters were getting arrested, 240-something of them getting arrested, coming out with handcuffs. We haven't seen that yet. I think that's what the American people want to see.
True. Oh, guys, let's not forget to double tap that screen, like the video, guys. Let's get more people in the conversation by double tapping that screen. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel, guys. Appreciate the support.
I want to see some accountability taking place. By the way, you know that other video that we played where the guy said, Rob, can you go to the video of the guy claiming that Nick Shirley came at a time that nobody was here, and that's not fair because the time is this, and I'm here. There's kids here every day. I've been here for 8 years. There's always kids here. There's kids here. There's a video right there, that guy right there. So watch this. Watch this video. Go ahead.
What would you say to Nick Shirley, the YouTuber, if he was standing in front of you?
I have
right
nothing
now?
against him himself, but I do have something against the rhetoric. If you're going to be a journalist, just have a moral compass. Like, do what you do correctly. If you catch business that are fraud, no one here is with that. Or Like, we don't support that as a community. I
Okay.
don't support that myself. I was born and raised here. I'm not for fraud. Like the notion that, hey, a certain batch of somebody got caught. So
While standing in front of a quality Leering center, he's saying that is crazy. I mean, Leering, bro, are you sure you don't want to change the sign to at least look a little bit more convincing? Just a little bit. And remember, this is the same guy that was in this little clip that I showed you guys. Yes, you see him? Yeah, same guy. If you don't, but you know, let's refresh your memory.
Am I going crazy, or is this the same guy? Is the manager of the infamous Learning Center in Minneapolis also one of the guys that was dancing in the back of Mayor Jacob Frey's election victory video, the one that went super viral where he thanks his constituents in Somali for re-electing him last month? Ibrahim Ali claims to be the manager of the Quality Learning Center and says that there is no fraud going on whatsoever there. He very well may just have a doppelganger who happens to look just like him that lives in the very same city he lives in, or he could be one of the Somali community leaders who is working with local electeds to keep some of these fraud schemes going. But that would just be crazy, right? I could be totally wrong to assume this, but he's got a very unique face and hairline.
put out a certain message about a certain group.
I mean, he looks so similar to this guy going. I mean, hypothetically speaking, it would make sense that someone running a fraudulent business would have a vested interest in who is in control politically in the city where they are running said fraudulent business. And Jacob Frey is no stranger to simping for Somalia. Hell, he even puts out campaign videos in Somali for
Maaga Egawa Jacob Fry. Doki Magalada, Minneapolis.
Son of a bitch. I mean, bro, way to sell out. Way to sell out. You done sold out your people, bro. It's like, yep, guy, he's compromised, man. They got something on him, bro. They got something on him. It's just crazy. But I mean, look, when you ask this guy about the Somali fraud,
we do not care.
All of them support it. It's like, no one, if in any community, any mishaps that happen, the rest of the community obviously doesn't want that to happen. It's a stain on all of our names, as you guys can see. We don't want that to happen. We don't take part in that. We don't like that. We don't want that in our communities. But just to say, hey, a certain company got caught, so they must all do it. And I feel like that's what he's doing.
89%, buddy.
2 to 10 p.m. may not be your typical daycare hours. So can you explain why it is that you operate during these
reason
hours?
for that is we're after school hours. So most of our clients, not most of our clients, all of our clients is after school hours. So schools, earliest dismissal would be 2:15 to 2:30ish. And the latest dismissal would be up to like 4:30ish.
You said you were there 11
so
and
that's
5.
when our kids come to us.
That's what you
don't
said.
have
Yeah,
anyone.
I went at 11 in the morning, and then I went back the next day at a later time. And what's interesting is when he's out talking and doing this, simultaneously at the exact same time, the commissioner of children is saying that daycare was closed a week ago. I filmed my video, the first one, on December 16th when it was still
Your first
operating.
video was shot December 16th. That
December
was released
16th.
December 26th.
Yes.
Okay.
So it wasn't filmed over winter break. It was filmed
10 days before Christmas, 9 days
yes,
before.
and so it was still operating as a business according to the commissioner of children.
Okay. Got it. And by the way, isn't this the same location that in the first 42-minute show that you did, a neighbor's like, I've never seen kids here.
Yes, a man who's been living there for 8
Can you
years.
find that clip? It's very important because, and you can tell that guy.
oh, and this is the clip he was talking about like pretty much what was this commissioner lady coming out saying it was closed about a week ago. Yeah, before Nick Shirley even got there. So they don't even know what the hell this man was even doing defending it.
I will share that our team was notified that Quality Learning Center closed just over a week ago. And I believe the details that were given at that time were around space concerns. And that's what was I will share.
So, yeah. Bit strange, is it not?
Guys just being straight up is like, no, I've never seen anybody here before. I'll find a time for you, Rob, if you want to look for it.
It's timestamped on my YouTube.
Okay.
Just go to
On your YouTube.
Yeah, go to his YouTube channel. So
it's about at
What do you guys? That's taking place here in Minnesota.
go to 1630.
I don't think.
Okay.
And but basically this guy's been living there for 8 years. He's never seen a single child.
Press skip, Rob. To the right. Okay. If you go
About 1 more minute up.
Up, fast forward, or behind?
Forward.
Keep going, keep going. This is a lady that thinks you're ice.
Yes. And by the way, they also spelled Leering wrong, and they also spelled Nicolette wrong. Like these guys were incompetent.
And by the way, okay, right there. Pause it for a second. Pause it for a second. And by the way, they responded to why the Leering Center. They said the printing company made that mistake. And then Rob asked the question, said, if they made a mistake, why'd you put them in the first place? And then they said they went back and they were going to change it.
For 8 years.
For 8 years, they made the mistake and it was going to get changed. But what happened, Rob?
It was too cold outside for them to come and swap the signs out. For 8 years.
Yeah. Okay, so but watch this. So that same place where the man says for 8 years, kids are here all the time. This is what a neighbor said of what he's seen at this place. Go ahead, Rob.
Have you ever seen children at that daycare center right there?
Where?
Yeah, it's right there. It says the child, you've never seen daycare.
I haven't seen anybody in here.
We're going to educate you on something. So what do you think about this daycare center? They spelled learning wrong. They've received over $1.9 million this year alone, and they're supposed to have 99 children here.
Whoa, 99? Yeah, that's crazy. Supposed to have 99 children there. And, you know, even with the surveillance video that CNN showed, and like, yeah, 99 people did not show up. They're not even not even half, not even 10%. I'll be real with you. I didn't even really see 10% of that show up.
Have you ever seen any children here?
None, not at all.
Like 6 of them.
This year they got 1.9 million. Last year they got 1.5 million of your tax money for 99 children. We just want to know where are the kids?
Right.
Where are the children?
I don't see them. I've been here since 2017. I haven't seen anybody like that.
Never seen a child here.
No, not at all.
And so you've never seen a child here for 8 years?
Nope, not at all.
And how does that make you feel knowing that this place is receiving $1.9 million?
Disgusting.
Did he walk over with
I mean,
you?
what the hell? They stealing the money. That's a federal grant,
Yeah, I
too.
showed him
That's,
the
if they get caught for that's a federal offense. I know, I studied law.
And do you think Tim Walz should go to jail for all the fraud that he's enabled here in his state?
That's him doing this? What the heck yeah. He's got to be held accountable for this. I mean, there's no rhyme or reason what's going on here. It's simple. It's nothing there. It's a parking lot.
And look, they even spelled learning wrong on their sign for a place that's supposed to be educating children.
That's crazy. I mean, who runs it? Who supposedly runs it?
Somalians.
Oh my God.
Who is he, by the way?
I mean, yeah, I'll be real with you, man. If these guys don't stop the BS, bro, Minneapolis is going to turn red. Just like Chicago's threatening to turn red.
He was just walking around. He was just walking to go get his coffee.
Here at all.
So he's walking
So how
around
long
going to
have you
get
been
his coffee. He sees you and you pull him aside.
Yeah, that's how all my videos work. I
So you
just
just
start
gotta start
people.
talking to the guy.
Yeah.
So this is a guy that lives in that area, works in that area since 2017, and he's never seen kids in that property.
Never.
And then, by the way, that guy that responded to you and he says, I have nothing against Nick Shirley. I just say there's got to be some kind of a journalistic integrity. Can you go to the other clip? Another independent YouTube Instagram account.
This is the craziest thing.
Did you see this one?
This is crazy.
Okay, so check this out, folks. So apparently, this same guy that was in the back calling out Nick Shirley, look what ties. Can we give credit to this content creator? What's Rob? I can't. 47 years. I can't see anything.
This is Sabrina Cosmos.
Okay, Sabrina Cosmos. It's a Greek last name. Maybe it's different, but here's Sabrina
Same video?
showing something that I think we should be interested in. Go ahead, Rob.
Am I going crazy, or is
Hey.
this the same guy? Is the
Found the
manager
same
of the
video.
infamous Learning Center in Minneapolis also one of the guys that was dancing in the back of Mayor Jacob Frey's election victory video, the one that went super viral where he thanks his constituents in Somali for re-electing him last month? Abraham Ali claims to be the manager of the Quality Learning Center and says that there is no fraud going on whatsoever there.
Watch
He very
this,
well may just have a doppelganger who happens to look just like him that lives in the very same city he lives in, or he could be one of the Somali community leaders who is working with local electeds to keep some of these fraud schemes going. But that would just be crazy, right? I could be totally wrong to assume this, but he's got a very unique face and hairline.
Put out a certain message about a certain group.
I mean, he looks so similar to this guy going.
What's happening?
Hypothetically speaking, it would make sense that someone running a fraudulent business would have a vested interest in who is in control politically in the city where they are running said fraudulent business. And Jacob Frey is no stranger to simping for Somalia. Hell, he even puts out campaign videos in Somali for
Maaga Egawa Jacob Fry. Doke Magalada, Minneapolis.
And the cherry on top is that Governor Tim Walz, after being radio silent, finally comes out and puts out a statement days later, just a few minutes ago. And what does he do? He blames Trump. Trump keeps letting fraudsters out of prison. I'm curious, do you guys think this is the same
Stop it
guy?
right
Because
there.
if
So
I was
this,
the
so this is the same guy that went up there like a spokesperson, is the same guy that's celebrating with the mayor. Has the mayor's office at all reached out to you?
No, they're actually, one guy even said, because I made this T-shirt. He said, "Oh, this is perfect. This is perfect." He said, "This is perfect to be able to like basically sue me. Perfect evidence."
That you put that out there, the Leering Center 1-800-FRAUD?
Yeah, 1-800-FRAUD. They're like, this is copyright infringement. I'm like, well, first off, if I did you guys a favor because it's actually learning, so I have the right to use Leering.
That is so funny.
But
so
think about it. You literally have somebody who's partying with the mayor coming out and talking about the fraud, and they just magically show up and they start bussing in children. Yeah, they literally start bussing in children. And while the commissioner of children saying we closed that place a week ago, that guy, I don't know who he is. He's probably getting paid to cover face. He's the spokesperson for this mayor right now, trying to make him look good. And his time's up. And I even tried to confront him. I went to the daycare. He was there. I said, all right. I was like, you have a perfect opportunity to talk to me right now. Come debunk all the claims. I want to talk to you. I'll give you the mic. He ran inside the daycare. I was like, come out here.
So you have that video?
Yes, I have the video.
So this is the yesterday visit that you went to?
The daycare. Yes. I went to the daycare. He was there. I said, oh, awesome. Let me ask you some questions. You have the perfect opportunity to debunk everything. And he goes inside, and I get a middle finger from a lady inside. And he goes and hides behind the door.
Wow.
So that guy, I gotta say allegedly, apparently, but that guy definitely is in on the fraud. He's partying with the mayor.
So then that means is the mayor in on the fraud?
100%. They all are. If you look at all the records of these companies, that daycare center has had multiple violations over the past few years. Multiple violations. I think upwards of 10 violations. But yet, even if they were closed, they still received $1.9 million.
That is just.
And why would you ever put a child in there when there's only one?
They're supposed to have like over 90 kids. I mean, I told you too, like the ABC one, the one that, they try to vindicate on CBS, they're supposed to have like 60 children, but when you looked in there, they only had like 12. That's the problem. But I mean, they're gonna look us right in our face and say, oh no, they're over sensationalized to get mad. This is a MAGA lie. No, this is fraud that's staring us right in the face.
Door, it's completely blacked out. There's no windows, there's no playground. It's just a place for fraud.
Yeah, I mean, my mind goes to a lot of different places. Fraud, safety for kids. Rob, what is this one here?
This is the woman that you spoke about, the education commissioner?
Yes, the commissioner of children.
Where she talks about the daycare being closed, but they're also showing people going into the daycare on the same day.
Let me see it.
Yep.
Is there fraud going on here? No, it's a video. I just want to know. What's your response? Huh?
Oh, you got to understand the Somali community, very tight-knit community, okay? So I'm talking about you can ask money from these guys and a whole nother family will send your ass money because you're Somalian. But the problem with that is that they're willing to protect themselves, when it comes to crime as well. Like those who don't commit crime will protect those who are. And this is what you're seeing right now. Pretty much a bunch of guys saying like, hey, my brother, wallahi, they're trying to shut down my store or my my daycare. Look, man, just have your children go ahead and bring some of your other wives' children. Everybody just rush in here and we can go ahead and just, fake until we make it. They're going to bring some people over, even though we're shut down. But yeah, we're going to bring in some kids and wallahi, hopefully everything works out, my brother.
Get the out of here. What's your response to the allegations? Is there fraud going on here? And is there children? That's all.
We are aware of a video that's being circulated that has gained local and national attention about child care centers in Minnesota. While we have questions about some of the methods that were used in the video, we do take the concerns that the video raises about fraud very seriously. Each of the facilities mentioned in the video has been visited at least once in the last 6 months as part of our typical licensing process.
Once?
And in fact, our staff are out in the community today to visit each of these sites again so that we can look into the concerns that were raised in the video. So I won't go into any detail.
Let's hear that over again. Let's hear that again, because that's pretty crazy to say. I just want to let y'all know. This is pretty crazy what she's saying. Today in Austin.
We are aware of a video that's being circulated that has gained local and national attention about child care centers in Minnesota. While we have questions about some of the methods that were used in the video, we do take the concerns that the video raises about fraud very seriously. Each of the facilities mentioned in the video has been visited at least once in the last 6 months as part of our typical licensing process.
Once?
And in fact, our staff are out in the community today to visit each of these sites again so that we can look into the concerns that were raised in the video. So I won't go into any detail about whether or not any of these have any open investigations. I will share that our team was notified that Quality Learning Center closed just over a week ago. And I believe the details that were given at that time were around space concerns. And that's what was shared. The previous one I mentioned that had been
pause it right
closed.
there. You give somebody $1.9 million and you only visit that place once every 6 months.
Bruh.
And you're surprised that fraud is happening?
Yes, and then now they're like, oh, we're going to start sending people to go look at them.
I'm pretty sure they schedule it out like, hey, yeah, you know, in 6 months, just make sure you guys can stuff 90 children in that building. Look, just find 90, you know, I know y'all close in the community. Go ahead and find 90 of your homies' kids and just stuff it in this building. We'll come by in about 6 months. We'll green light you. We'll go ahead and continue giving you millions of dollars. And, you know, y'all good. And y'all can go ahead and buy y'all land. Y'all can go ahead and send it to terrorists and do whatever y'all want to.
Well, obviously, they're going to start putting children inside the daycares.
Yeah.
And the other complaint people had on the internet was, oh, he went during winter break. No, actually went December 16th. Right now, they're in winter break, and they're putting children inside the daycares. So what does that say?
That's right.
So their claims are retarded.
That is a very good point.
Stupid.
Meaning, if they're doing it now, they're doing it to hide, because the 16th would be the time where people are not on break. You need a daycare to be available. But by the way, have you seen Ilhan Omar say anything about this?
No, I have not. She's
Okay.
I think she's been silent. Tim Walz was silent for 3 days.
Until he was forced to say something, and he said this is based on Trump because he's letting prisoners out. So Ilhan Omar recently said something about, look, if they have to kick me out, I'm not afraid. I will go back to.
Well, I know Somalia or Somaliland was just recognized as a state now by Israel, which kind of pissed Turkey off. But, you know, we'll figure out what the beef is with that. But, yeah, I mean, hey, it has been recognized as a state, and we have been sending, billions of dollars over there. So, you know what? It might be a little bit better. I mean, you know, they still don't got a child. They still don't got a marriage age, so that's a bit concerning. But, you know, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe we send her back. She'll go back to where she always wanted to be. And, you know, I would say we should also sue Somalia for billions of dollars of fraud being taken away, strip the money away from them, and then send them all back. That's fair. That's fair. That's just right there.
Somalia, I'm not an 8-year-old where you're going to scare me. I don't think it's that one. If you type in, that's the one right there. Yeah. Watch this one. 17 seconds. Go ahead, Rob.
I mean, I have no worry. I don't know how they take away my citizenship and like deport me, but I don't even know like why that's such a scary threat. Like, I'm not the 8-year-old who escaped war anymore. I'm grown. My kids are grown. Like, I can go live wherever I want. I mean,
bro, she has $30 million. She has a $30 million net worth. What you talking about, bro? This is Big Money Omar. Like, bro, she's Big Money Omar. Look her up. She got $30 million. She can run off to Somalia with. She ain't worried no more. Now, if you strip her of that money, she's going to be talking a whole lot differently. I promise you, if you stripped her of all that money and then said we're sending you back to Somalia, oh, Lord, her ass going to change that tune real quick.
Yeah. So I wonder how this is going to tie her, because her and Tim Walz needs her. She doesn't need him. I have a feeling that if one of them throws the other one under the bus, the other one's going down with them, period.
Yeah, and Tim Walz, he's going to have to do one or two things because he's running for re-election right now. Well, and first, Ilhan Omar, her net worth has skyrocketed from negative to $30 million since.
How? Nobody knows. They're saying it's her husband. They're saying different things, but nobody knows.
So if that's true, she's doing some pretty dang good returns on whatever she's receiving, $174,000 a year. But Tim Walz will have to do one of two things. He will either resign and try to flee and not take accountability, or he'll be stupid enough to continue his run for re-election and most likely be imprisoned.
So run a poll, Rob. Which is more likely to happen? Tim Walz resigns. Tim Walz goes to jail. Tim Walz stays in office.
He's going to stay in office. I'm going to be real with you. Like, bro, the Democrats don't hold their own accountable. So why would they start now? They're literally trying to fight us back on this. So you know they're not even trying to hold their own accountable. He's going to stay in office, even with nationwide criticism, because the Dems don't hold their own accountable. They're just going to defend this guy until he's out of office. Then they're going to treat him like an old nightmare.
And what another option do you want to put on there?
Or nothing happens.
Or nothing happens. Yeah.
And I hope, like, everyone's like, we need it now, but we want them to come in with such solidified evidence that they can just go and boom, bring the case against him.
And shout out to my man Jet. He says, I'm sick and tired of Dems acting like we can't be mad about illegals and tax fraud because they black and brown. Can only be mad if, bro, I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, she can only be mad if shit's like Madoff because he's white. Literally. Or they work with Donald Trump. Like, that's the only, or not work with Donald Trump, but or if they were pardoned by Donald Trump. Only time they can ever be mad about fraud is if it's in connection to what? The right, or they're white. Like, only time they'll ever be mad about it.
Yeah, I hope that's what's happening. I hope the reason why Cash has been quiet after that one tweet that he sent out and they haven't done a press conference, I hope the reason why it's so quiet, it's because they're about to do something. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I hope they're about to right there. Okay, so check this out. How many votes? So let's see what so 1,600 votes. Let's say 2,000 votes already. Wow, 49% is saying nothing's going to happen. That is unbelievable. 24% think he resigns. 15% he goes to jail. 12% he is reelected. But nearly 3,000 votes, and half the people think nothing's going to happen to him. Do you agree with these guys?
I mean, I sure hope not. We hope that nothing happens. We hope that something happens.
Accountability happens.
Yes, well, some form of accountability. Because if I stole $100,000 or if I stole $5,000 from the government, or if you don't pay your taxes right, they're going to come after you.
They're going to come after you. For $5,000, they're going to come after you. Let alone billions of dollars. 4,000 votes, and still they're saying 49% nothing happens. That is unbelievable. That people don't think, well, let me see if we run that same exact. If people on X feel the same way, I'm going to run to a poll, same exact way, Rob, on my personal one, which is more likely to happen. Can you do me a favor, Rob, and have PBD Podcast retweet it? Just keep that right there so I can write the same thing. Tim Walz resigns. Okay, Walz resigns. So Ilhan Omar, nobody from the camp has reached out to you at all?
No.
Have you gotten any threats? Like actual death threats?
Yeah, well, in person and also.
Can you tell me about that? Like, are they messaging you saying, we're going to get you? What are they saying to you?
Yeah, like they're saying, oh, like, kirked. You're going to be kirked.
You're going to be kirked. That's what they're saying to you.
Yeah, like you're the next, you'll be the next Kirk. And it's just like, are you kidding me? Because it's not even, like, I hate what's happening right now. Like, I feel bad for my family, honestly, because it's like, yeah, like, we didn't do anything wrong. And yet you guys are coming after me like I'm some sort of villain, right? So I'm like, my little sister's getting phone calls. I'm like, why are you guys doing this?
Your little sister's getting phone calls?
Yeah, from like the news. I'm like, okay, don't talk to my family. I mean, some news in India, they doxed my home. They doxed my dad. It was really weird.
Oh no, they're actually coming after this kid's mom, bro. Like, bro, it's the most pettiest thing they're coming after this young man on. And it's almost damn near shameful. It's like, bro, it's like some people need to be ashamed of themselves for the type of content they release about this kid. It made like no sense. And they're now trying to do like ad hominem personal attacks on them, which is, like I say, I mean, absolutely insane. Let me see if I can find this one old lady, pink hair, just going off on this young man about having a close relationship with his mom, which is absolutely like crazy to do, especially as an old lady. But I'm gonna see if I can find that video because it's absolutely insane.
I haven't even told my dad about that because I just don't want to even bother him about it.
Well, Dad, you know now.
But like they put it, like it's just like, are you guys kidding me? Like, why are you guys coming after somebody for going against fraud? Like, I didn't make this a right or left issue. I just showed you guys that fraud was happening, and now you guys are coming after me. You're saying I'll be the next Kirk. You're literally stopping at intersections and coming after me and trying to attack me. Like, what? Why are you so evil? Like, what's wrong with you? Like, what? Why are you defending fraud? Do you like money being stolen? No. And what are you doing? You're a racist. No, I'm not a racist. I'm just telling you what the facts are. You guys are stealing money from the people that are working hard here inside the United States. I was literally talking to a black man, and then a Somali man comes out, and he's also black. So I don't know, like, I can't understand what they're thinking, calling me a racist. I'm having a great conversation with a black man, and then another black man comes up, and he's Somali descent, and he comes and attacks me for being a racist. I'm like, no, I'm not a racist. It's so stupid. And that's why the fraud has been able to happen for so long, because people like Tim Walz are afraid to be calling racist, afraid to be called racist. And me and my generation, we're over it. Like, we don't care.
Oh, I love that.
Obviously.
Like, we do not care. Call us a racist. I do not care, because I am not a racist. We're just seeing that prices of homes are so expensive. I don't even have a friend that can afford a home. People aren't getting married because of how expensive things are. And we're paying so much money in taxes. Most kids are, I'm lucky because I didn't go to college, but most kids are starting their life off behind the starting line. They're thousands of dollars in the debt. And so, yes, we're upset because you guys are stealing millions of dollars and getting rich. And then you're bragging about the white man working on TikTok. Who's actually the racist? You're the racist. You're the one saying the white man, you work, white woman, you work, white man. We're sick of it. Nobody cares. Like, stop committing fraud. If you're going to be here, be happy to be here and work hard like we're working hard. Whether you're black, Mexican, Asian, white, just go and work. And don't start playing this victim card and start trying to make things political about money, for instance, or don't get mad at people for making money. Like, that's why America is the greatest country in the world, is because of capitalism. And we had 250 years to do it. All these other countries had thousands of years to do it, but they didn't do it. That's why we have to protect what's ours.
No question about. By the way, what was your relationship like with Charlie?
He texted me the day before he got shot.
Stop it.
Yeah, like, he invited me on his show. I was actually the last guest to ever go on Charlie Kirk's show before he got shot.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
You were the last guest to go on Charlie's show before he got shot and killed.
Yeah, it was like an hour before he got shot.
Rob, did you know this?
No idea.
I did not know this.
Oh, damn.
And so I wasn't like personal friends with Charlie, but like, that's why it hit me so hard. Him dying. One, he texted me the night before, and then I was literally the last guest to go on his show.
Wow. And what was the conversation about the last day you were on with Charlie?
Well, he just invited me on his show, and then because he was going to do the debate, it was his co-host Andrew who's hosting the show. Yeah,
that's right. Because
I'm from Utah too, and what's strange about me is I was supposed to be at that event, and I was going to go do a live stream, and I was even going to reach out to Turning Point to like be a part of it because I'm well known in Utah, and for some reason I decided to go back to New York, or else I would have been, who knows how close I would have been up on that stage, or if I was just in the crowd, but I would have been live streaming it.
You would have been live streaming it if you were there. Wow. Who was Charlie to you?
Yeah, I think he's just somebody that, similar to somebody like you, they have your back because you're also doing the same thing. So you have that mutual respect for him. And yeah, you might not agree with everything Charlie said, but if you think about what he did as far as the movement he created with Turning Point, I don't know if you were at AmFest last week, but it's amazing.
Not last week, last year.
It's amazing to see that even one person can gather 30,000 people for a convention in one weekend, right? And I think he's just more so just like somebody who's in the fight with you, speaking truth for what they believe and not standing down to anybody.
Do you have any interest in investigating and finding out what happened there and who shot him? Like, do you have an opinion on that?
I think it was Tyler Robinson.
You think it was Tyler Robinson?
For sure. I think so. Because I'm from Utah. The most violent protesters I've ever been around that I've been attacked by are people in Utah.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Well, in Utah, most of us are members of the Church of Jesus Christ. We're Mormons. We primarily support Trump, and we don't fall into the agenda of the LGBT.
I mean, and yeah, that's why they attacked this kid so heavily, because he comes from a conservative background and he's white. Like, I'm being real with you too, and it was crazy because like the Somalians were attacking him because he's white. White people's attacking him because he's white. It's absolutely insanity. Just because he exposed the fraud in, Minneapolis and Minnesota.
LGBTQ plus because of our religion.
Okay.
You can do whatever you want, but for instance, in our religion, Yeah, for instance, in our religion, we believe that marriage is between a man and woman. And so if you're anything that's not, if you're not a Christian, for instance, and you are in this mob mentality of Antifa, of these left-wing ideas where they think literally Trump's the devil or Charlie Kirk's a fascist. And so if you're inside of Utah and you're somebody who does not believe in that and you're not happy, you're in the worst place you could possibly be for yourself. And that's why people in Utah that's why the liberals are so crazy in Utah. And that's why there's been 2 political attacks in Utah this year. At No Kings protest, somebody got shot and killed. I was supposed to be at that as well. And they killed Charlie Kirk in Utah.
Have you investigated to see who knows Robinson? Have you talked to anybody that knows him personally?
Yes, because not that knows him personally, but I do have like friends that live in St. George, and like his family was in his ward, in his church.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think he was just some person who he left the church, and he became like when somebody leaves the church for some reason, it becomes their whole personality typically, and they just become very anti-Mormon, and they just like their whole mission is just like their personality becomes like, I'm an anti-Mormon. Like, what are you doing? Being a member of the church. And so that's why he was so radicalized in a way where he got to the point where he literally thought he needed to kill Charlie Kirk.
Wow. So he was previously an LDS.
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. And his parents are still.
I can't confirm.
Got it.
But I imagine so.
Wow.
They've left the state.
They've left the state.
Yeah, they're nowhere to be seen. Even the boyfriend, the transgender boyfriend, his family's left the state, I've heard too.
The furry guy.
Yeah.
Wow. I hope where they went there's some fur because it's important to them.
Yeah. So like it's literally the worst spot for somebody to be if you're not a God-loving man who loves your family.
Makes sense.
And we're all in Utah. Most of us are all successful too. Like there's not that much poverty in Utah.
Mormons are workers. It's the one thing. Mormons are workers. And this guy, I mean, obviously, you know, the world, especially us, we want to know more of what happened with them. I want to get to the bottom of it, and I hope they eventually do, because it's causing a lot of uncertainty with certain people. But going back to this, Rob, you had one clip that you were going to play. Go back to that one clip right there. So this clip here is the freezing of the Minnesota. Can you tell us what this clip is, Rob?
Yes, this is Minnesota State Representative Kristen Robbins. She talks about Tim Walz and his team actually being proactive in threatening to expose people as racist and Islamophobic if they expose any type of Somalian fraud in Minnesota.
And who is she?
She is a state representative for the state of Minnesota.
And she's over the fraud committee. And so she's actually in my YouTube video talking about the
I mean, here's the thing, though. I mean, it's straight to the ad hominems immediately. Like, they don't have no answer for it. They have no defense for it. They're not even willing to show financial records just to have a aha, I told you so moment. They're just going to go straight to ad hominems because they have no real defense, no real argument, and they're probably the ones who is getting the kickbacks off of this.
fraud.
She's in the part 2 YouTube video?
Yeah,
Or?
her graphs that I showed in my first video are from her. So she
Got it.
connected all the dots.
Yeah, she's the Minnesota Fraud Prevention Committee chair.
Okay, got it. Go for it.
We have dozens of credible whistleblower reports saying that exact same thing, that
go.
people were told not to say anything because they'd be called racist or Islamophobic, or it would hurt the state. And so people tried to come forward, but were shut down. And that protection of a particular community is what really allowed this fraud to flourish in Minnesota for years. But we have said very publicly that, yes, the bulk of the fraud we've discovered so far is in the Somali community, but some of our best whistleblowers are also in the Somali community. And it's really important that we get to the truth of this issue. And so by failing to call it out, we allowed it to continue. And that has hurt Minnesotans tremendously, taxpayers and our vulnerable citizens.
Have you spoken to her at all?
Yeah.
You have?
I spoke with her at the fraud committee meeting.
This recent time when you went back, or the first time?
The first time.
Oh, the video at the end where you and the young African.
But all right, though, here's a little hit piece that was done on Nick Shirley. And I mean, trigger warning. And this lady is absolutely look unhinged. So slight trigger warning, slight.
He hit 1 million subscribers. My boy is a 1 million subscriber on YouTube.
Yay! Nick Shirley just hit 1 million subscribers on YouTube. And to celebrate, he brought his prom date with him. That's right. That's right. Nick Shirley's mom was his prom date.
I mean, bro, this lady looks over 50 and dyed her hair pink. Like, bro, lady, you cannot be talking. And like I said, a grown-ass lady talking about what? A young man's relationship with his mom? I mean, hold on now. Last time I checked, I thought women wanted us guys to have a good relationship with our mom. I thought that's what y'all wanted. But I mean, hey, y'all use it to hurt us or y'all use it against us when it suits you, huh?
Because during COVID lockdowns, they didn't allow prom, so he asked his mom to prom. And afterwards, he took her to wear Chick-fil-A. Nothing is more Mormon nor Utah-ian than fucking taking your prom date.
Nor you trying. I mean, bro, obviously, okay, sis, okay. I mean, if you want to shun a man just during COVID for what? Treating his mom to a good time? I mean, I'm be real with you, lady. All of us, all good sons do that. And be honest with you, that's what we all do. So I'm sorry if me taking my mom out for something to eat is such a bad thing and I should just be what? Criticized for it? I mean, what? You want me to hate my mom? Oh, then I'm a misogynist. I'm a woman hater. I mean, which is it? It's like, man, it's like, y'all don't be making no sense. Like, be consistent. But shout out to my man, Jet. He says, Happy New Year, Set. I appreciate that. She'll have to sign off here soon because speaking of my mom, she's supposed to be coming over soon. So shout out to that.
Oh, he asked his mom to prom. And afterwards, he took her to wear Chick-fil-A. Nothing is more Mormon nor Utah-ian than fucking taking your prom date to Chick-fil-A. Everybody out here, oh my God, Nick Shirley's better than the mainstream media. No, motherfucker. He was a Mormon kid who went on a fucking mission to Chile and then wanted to come back and be a YouTube star and started pulling stupid ass pranks. Like the time he went streaking and decided to run a marathon, though he'd never trained. I don't know about you, but that looks like that motherfucker is a furry. Or, you know,
okay, that was funny.
Shit like ordering pizza and
yeah, he used to be a prank YouTuber and he evolved to be a political one. Well, actually, he really evolved just going out there and doing street interviews, going to these protesters and trying to hear out both sides of the argument. And let me be real with you guys. You guys were actually okay with Nick Shirley. That's the thing. I wasn't hearing nothing. No liberal was truly speaking on Nick Shirley until he came out about the Minnesota fraud. So I'm sorry, but you guys are looking a bit guilty here.
Showing up at somebody's house and asking for Harry Ballsack.
How you guys doing? Hi, I have a pizza delivery.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
I mean, damn, you can't grow up.
Harry Ballsack. Ballsack. Harry Ballsack.
Oh my God. Yep, that's that fucking Pulitzer Prizing winning journalist we all need. You fucking dumbasses. The fraud was already exposed. Okay, it was already there, and it was by a white bitch. Well, because Elon retweeted it.
This girl's stupid. So yeah, just to re-educate you, out of the 86 people who were indicted on that, 76 of them were Somalians. So you're calling out the one white bitch out of 76 Somalians? Are you serious? This lady don't know what the F she talking about.
And Donald Trump was like, he's a fucking hero. Here we go. A typical white fucking Utah Mormon podcaster. He's like Charlie .70. They don't do shit but get in your face. It's not journalism. They're asking stupid questions and playing pranks. And showing up in Minneapolis, yeah, I probably wouldn't let two fucking grown men just enter a daycare to film kids. I'm just saying. I know the president that you like, total pedophile, likes to go wherever kids are, but most people are not going to allow that shit, sweetheart. Now, if you could...
Yeah, but most people would allow him to the reception desk, or they would give him information on how to, get their child into there. So yeah, they could have kept him out, but at least give him information on, just to show you that we're not a scam. This is the number you can call us at. This is how you register your child, and there you go. So yeah, I mean, you trying to run cover for them not allowing this man in is not really working. And let's be honest, I mean, there's also been other people who try to also go to these Somali daycare centers, and they're not letting, and they're showing up by themselves. So why don't you want to talk about that?
Just hold off on marrying your mother until your father has passed. Just for the
Wow.
sake of Mormianity.
Wow. And you see how much hatred they like gotta put out there. You see how hate-filled that was from beginning to end. The hatefulness is real. And we're supposed to take people like this seriously. That's the wild part. That's the wild part. People actually take her seriously. No, I'm so serious. I think she has like what? Let me make sure. Because it's actually sick. Let's see. Billy Nelson. 46,000. I mean, yeah. I mean, bro. And then want to talk about Jesus teachings, take care of the poor, take care of the sick. Well, I mean, let's be real. These people are stealing from the poor, stealing from the sick. And lady, you're defending it. You're defending it. I mean, welcome to stranger. Be kind to those who imprison. I mean, yeah, we actually are kind to those who we imprison. I mean, come on now. The exact opposite of MAGA, GOP, and Christian nationalists. I mean, lady, was what you did, you know. But bro, look at this. She spent the whole time attacking this kid. Like, whole time attacking this young man. But I mean, let's see what else you got to say. What was this?
Super easy to find fraud. All you need is go. And they're raking in millions upon millions of dollars. This Tim Walz's Minnesota is allowing this to go on. It's super easy to find fraud. All you need to do is go up to a door, try to open it. It's closed and there's no children. So you know.
And here's the thing, like, they are right when they say, yeah, most of them are locked, but actually a lot of them are pretty much locked from you going back there to look at the children or to look at the classes. They're supposed to have a reception area where you can get information from. So yeah, they lock you out. They have a little locked door system when it comes to access to the children. But honestly, you should be able to walk in there and get information. And you should be able to call ahead. I mean, let's be real. They should accept walk-ins too, since this is a business and you should be able to accept all children. And then you should be able to at least get a pamphlet. But you should also be able to call in and be able to get in there as well.
These daycares, they're not full, but yet they're taking in millions of dollars every year. Let me know your thoughts on this.
Nick Shirley, come get your motherfucking prom date, i.e. your motherfucking mom. Out here talking about, oh my God, they're defrauding. There's nobody here. They're getting millions of dollars. We can't stand for that, right? Right, Miss Brooke? Miss Brooke and your husband Paul and your sister Amy and another family member?
Going after the family members. That's what I'm saying. Bro, you could tell there's an organized attack when they're going after family members. Like, instead of attacking his argument and what he presented, they're attacking the messenger. Like I said, you could tell they're guilty at this point.
Did you guys go to federal fucking bankruptcy court and try to swindle fucking gym memberships and owners out of payment? And then to hide finances, did you then put fake people on the payroll that never even worked for these fucking companies? Yeah.
Now, let's be real. And I'm just to be honest with you. One, well, she's still out and about and she's not arrested and she served no time in jail. So to call a case out without saying the verdict of it is pretty shady. So obviously she was innocent of all charges, by the way. And let's be real. I mean, maybe going through that traumatic moment in his life, seeing his parents almost go to jail over fraud. I don't know. Maybe that's the reason why he can call it out so well.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you fucking did, Mama Brooke.
That's what I'm saying. And shout out Asher for coming in. Like, what does this have to do about the fraud? Because they can't attack the fraud. They can't attack the evidence, but they have to attack the messenger. And they're going as far to attack the young man's family. Like, wow.
Public federal bankruptcy. Rushton v. Shirley. Filed July 27th, 2018. Okay, so like 8 years ago. The court case in question, the trustee sued Brooke Shirley, Paul Shirley, Amy Hall, Bailey Hall's wife, which is also her sister, and Brooke's sister, and Matron LLC, a family-linked entity, for fraudulent fucking transfers, 548, turnover of property, 542, and recovery of money, property. Allegations focused on improper diversion of assets to insiders during Thrive's bankruptcy, insolvency for not paying Jim. Specifics included adding family members to payroll, transferring funds or assets to them, potentially to shield them from fucking creditors. Gee, I want.
But were they found guilty of it? You just read out the details of the case, but were they found guilty? No, because they're still out and they're still free today. Nick Shirley could still go see his mom and dad. So, yeah. And he filed bankruptcy most likely because, hey, those lawyer fees cost. And a lot of people file bankruptcy on their business just off being sued because of how much it costs on legal fees alone. But you wouldn't know that. It doesn't look like you're a business owner or anything of that sort. But all right, let's go ahead and get back to our guy, PBD.
American Medical.
So she gave a speech, that lady at the fraud committee, and then that lady who I confronted, she was like, "This is how are we going to build trust within our communities if we're talking about this?" And I was like, "All right, we're going to confront that lady."
Yeah, that was very interesting at the end. So this is
there's Kristen Robbins right there in that red, right there.
Okay, so that's her.
Yeah.
So this is we're at the end of this. Rob, you want to play this? Go back 5 seconds.
All right. And shout out JD says, God, we need an IQ test before people are allowed to vote. Man, don't we?
Play it from right here, Rob.
Republican representative showed charts showing exactly how this fraud has been committed and who is profiting and connecting all the dots. And while the Democrat representatives looked into the abyss, one of them spoke about how none of this is building trust and how this is a nonpartisan issue. So I went and confronted her after that.
Yes, but he has some very valid questions to ask about what's going on here in Minnesota. And do you think this fraud
I don't know who
crosses?
you are.
My name is Nick Shirley.
Okay.
Do you think this fraud is Republican or Democrat, or just facts that fraud is happening?
I think the fact that
Because
you're talking about it as a partisan issue.
Well, because that's what I heard you talking about.
I know what I said is that
because
what we're talking
we want
about
to build trust, but fraud is fraud. So why should we be enabling fraud to happen here?
No, I don't think anybody is enabling fraud to happen.
Hold Governor Walz accountable for this.
Okay, sir.
No. This
Sir,
is not.
sir.
When are you going to hold Governor Walz? No. She is a representative for the state of Minnesota. Yes or no?
Excuse me.
Yes. Are you?
If you're going to talk to me like
Are
that,
you going to say to her, I'm a disability advocate? I
heard you, and
get
we've got a chance
overstimulated.
to testify.
Thank you for
testifying
today. No.
Ma'am, the facts are the facts that fraud is happening here, and it's not a nonpartisan issue. How come you think fraud has been able to happen so much underneath?
I think
the
if you've
government
been
here?
listening to our hearings, we've had now 10 hearings on this. And so there's really good data from the people who both work within the administration as well as who both Democrat and Republicans. I think
Yes.
what you heard today is that the Republicans who control this committee are not actually interested in solving fraud. What they're interested in is telling a story.
This fraud has happened underneath Democrat leader Tim Walz.
There has been Medicaid fraud across the country under Democrats and Republicans. There's fraud within the Trump administration. We have is fraud. Private providers have made government a mark. And so every person running government, Democrats or Republicans, are dealing with the issue of how to keep fraudsters out of our public payment. We're also dealing with veterans. We're dealing with consumers. I hope you're looking at that. If you look at United Health, currently is being charged with defrauding Medicare. You know who runs Medicare? President Trump. Medicaid fraud is a 50-state issue. And so again, it is not a partisan issue. There are Democrats and Republicans who are sitting in that committee talking about it. But what you did here was the Republican chair say she's not turning information over to the one person in government who can stop payment. And I hope you print that. Thank you for coming today.
Okay.
Crazy.
Well, this all will happen.
You pause it right there. I mean, you see that. How do you process that afterwards when you hear her saying that?
I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, you just try to blame it on Trump? Like, can you not admit fraud? She literally admitted fraud was taking place right there. They all know fraud is happening in Minnesota. So why didn't they stop it?
Yeah, I don't know. By the way, this is the poll on where are we at on the poll with the podcast? Oh, wow. At 12,000, it's still at 49%. Well, let me go to X. Look what X is. X is even higher. The people on X are even more skeptical than YouTube. 63.7% think nothing's going to happen. 16% think he's going to get reelected. Only 7.5% think he's going to go to jail. On YouTube, 15% think he's going to go to jail. On X, 12.8% think he's going to resign. On YouTube, 23% think he's going to resign. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen here, but the reality of it is he's exposed. What the U.S. government, have you spoken to anybody and asked them the question of what the U.S. government has the power to do to Walz and how that speed is going to be? Is it a slow process? Have you asked anybody these questions of what can happen to Waltz?
Not specifically about Waltz, but I've asked him, like, how come, like, in the federal government, when we talk about, like, what's happening inside our states, why can't we just go in and solve the fentanyl issue, for instance? And pretty much this, like, we're seeing how much power states actually have inside the government when Trump wants to go and clean up a state for crime,
right?
And governors block it.
Yeah.
So you're seeing, like, how judges can quite literally block and postpone stuff so long to the point where a lot of stuff just doesn't even happen, or sometimes people probably get discouraged to the point it's like, why even try? And so, like I said before, I think they're just gonna have to come up with a case that's so solidified that when the evidence is provided, that they can't even, there's no debate for it. But what's worrisome is in Minnesota, they found a man guilty of $7 million in fraud. He was found guilty. The judge then reversed it after he had been found guilty. So, like, they're all in on this fraud. Like, when have you ever seen somebody get committed for $7 million of fraud and then walk free after he was committed?
This is the one right here. Minnesota judge slammed for returning conviction of a pair involved in Medicaid fraud.
Yes.
And this is yesterday. This is 2 days ago. Go a little bit lower, Rob. So
$7 million.
How much did you say? $7 million. Yeah, right there. A judge in Minnesota is currently facing a backlash for overturning a conviction of over $7 million of a couple who were found guilty of misusing Medicaid funds to fund a rich lifestyle.
And all righty, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and close it down for the night. Mom's here, so no, gotta go out downstairs and be a son and enjoy the fact that my mom is still alive and all that wonderful stuff. So because it's been a rough year, and in that department, but I ain't gonna go too much details on that. Just know I'm a thankful person. All right, guys. Make sure you guys go out there and chill with your family for the New Year's, or call them and all that good stuff. Tell your siblings what's up. Tell your mom, your dad, you love them and you appreciate them. This is S.E.T Media, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. All right, man. I'll see you guys. Peace.
Here in Minnesota, massive fraud is taking place within the government and the Somali population. Here, this building alone, Quality Learning Center, is a daycare, yet they spelled learning wrong. And they said leering. This daycare alone in 2025 has received $1.9 million from the government. And the strange things about these childcare centers is there's no one here right now. It's midday on a weekday. And if you were to try to go inside, it's completely closed and the windows are all blacked out. No one's working. Midday, children should be in here. And this place is licensed for 99 children. And this is the outside. There's no windows, no nothing. And like I said, they literally spelt the word wrong on their sign. This is open and blatant fraud taking place here inside of Minnesota. The government is complicit with this, and this is just one of the hundreds of child daycare centers here inside of Minneapolis being ran by the